Okay, my computer's still loading too.
Live.
All right. Let's make this the most. Today we are changing the name to the New Blerd Disorder because I don't think we're quite ready for the show, but let's do it anyway. All right, let's do it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, wherever you are. We ain't ready. We didn't really prepare for today's show. We're just going to talk to each other because we have already gotten so used to waking up and talking to each other on Saturday mornings, even whether or not we have content or not. Like, look, Yaz has completely dilapidated her whole structure. You know, she usually has the office up and running just fine, green screen, Falcon Winter Soldier in the background. This morning, full on office shelf, full fan on the window. Like it's just, you know, whatever.
Got that high quality VHS look going on.
She looks like this is the Clerks 3. But not to talk too much because Tyrone just got back from walking his friends' dogs.
Yep.
And keeping them from eating cat shit.
Oh yeah, it's a job.
Yeah. It's a real thing. But the only one who's ready this morning is Ty, who's been up since 4, brushing his hair and getting it redone and braided and looking all pretty as usual. We are here. We are Legion. We are not ready, but we are here, and we're gonna muster through the show while Jazz is patiently waiting for her internet to come back. What y'all don't realize is that we have a lot of banter before and after these shows. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we normally try to have some structure. You know, I send out an email that says like, hey, this is what we're going to talk about today. I literally made that shit up this morning. Sent some shit. It's like, I don't know. What can we talk about, man? All right, here's some shit and threw it out. And first thing I hear is that Tyrone, he is babysitting dogs that eat cat shit, and that Yasmin has a tortoise. Two of which I think are much more exciting subjects than the ones that we had planned. So I would like to know about Yaz's tortoise, and if the tortoise this whole time has been a green screen in the background and we just didn't realize it.
No, she actually lives in my living room. For the most part, she's in she's an indoor-outdoor tortoise, so she's very pompous. I know, right? I know. People look at me so weird. You have no idea. I take her to dog parks and stuff like that. You know, like I take her exploring. You know, it's like really cool. And like it's funny because like I'll be sitting there like just chilling, like on my phone or reading a book or something, and people come up to me and they're like, "Is that yours?" I'm like, "Yes, don't touch it."
How do you walk a tortoise?
I don't walk
slowly.
Her. Herself. like, okay, for example, listen, when I transport her, like I literally lay my whole back seat down and put a drop cloth, like a painter's drop cloth in the back. So she just literally just rides in the back seat. And usually like when I turn around, her face is like in like her front like arms are in between my seats, just like looking in the mirror, like out the window and stuff. She's so funny. She's very observant.
So whenever you need somebody to watch your tortoise, Tyrone is on standby. We know that he is.
What's your tortoise's policy on eating cat shit? That's an important question because I'm not a fan.
So she does like to eat random shits. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh my god!
Not even picky, just shit.
It's an animal thing. I don't know what it is, but she likes to eat random stuff like dog poo, rocks and pebbles and stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. She's really random. She even likes wrappers just because they're shiny and stuff. She's very adventurous. I have to watch her. So in the yard,
is an interesting word for it.
Watching her, it's usually a lot of no, stop it, no, god damn it, tortoise. Yeah, it's really funny actually. Like I have to video it one time and let you guys watch the video because it's hilarious when he watches it.
Maybe one day we could get your tortoise on the show and we can just hang out and just have her on the screen just hanging out with us.
She's really judgy. I'm just letting you guys know. Like she likes to stare, okay, and she'll look at you and just stare at you.
I feel like you're projecting judginess onto this tortoise. I don't know.
Listen, I'm so serious. Everyone that comes into my house, like if you call her name, you know what I'm saying? Like she won't answer. But if I call her, she'll look over at me and just like with these eyes, like I see you calling me, and then like she'll just like you'll be chilling doing nothing. Next thing you know, you look over and the tortoise is just staring at you into your soul, and you're like, what the fuck is she looking at? Like, what do you want?
Or is it that you're like back there twerking to the Sailor Moon theme song, and that tortoise is like,
definitely not. Listen, she does not like. Let's just say she does not like Austin's like heavy metal music. She hates that. Oh no, and like any kind of bass, like music with bass in it, she starts freaking out. She hates it.
I shouldn't even know this information, but I think the reason the animals love eating the poop is because, unlike humans, animals consume like fruits and berries and what I'm saying, and all of the kind of nutrients that they get, and then I guess when they poop it out, it's not the same. It's not the same as our poop. Like it's not like ours is like waste of a whole bunch of nasty shit that we intake. And animals are over here eating like fucking rice and. Welcome
to the new Blerd Order Poopcast.
So you're basically saying like our shit today is their shit cargo
in the animal community.
Algiers, you're right. Algiers Diamond is right. Wait. Are we really doing this? Are we turning this into the Poopcast? and I take full blame for this. I take full blame for this, the direction of this conversation. And to do a Vince Taylor segue, tell me about your week, Vince. There was something that happened. Speaking of shitty stuff, something that wasn't shitty was something that happened for Vince this week, and I'd love to hear about it. I've been waiting to hear about it.
Oh man, well that's dope, man. Wonderful segue. Which I hate to shit on your segue, my friend. But I wanted to first of all big up Yaz for owning a tortoise. We have an actual picture of the tortoise here.
Oh my God! She's way cuter than that.
It's the one who blew his nose on Atreyu in Never Ending Story. Well done, Yaz. Why would you have your tortoise stuck in the swamp of sadness when you can bring him to good old Deltona, Florida? Anyway. But you asked the question, and so I must answer. It was a phenomenal week at the Bronze Kingdom. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but yeah, we had our kickoff this evening, 2 evenings ago. And oh my God, and it went phenomenally well, man. I got to say, like I was happy as hell that we had a successful launch. Over 100 people in the building. Which is interesting because a while back we would have been like, oh my God, people, you know what I'm saying?
That's a scary
thought. So now it's like, it's kind of cool that we were able to do so without feeling like, we were all going to die as a result of it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But hate to bring us down. But in addition to that news, as we were talking about just before the show went up and before we learned about Yaz's magical poop-eating tortoise, we lost a faithful member of our crew, not our crew, but of just somebody we know, New Jack of ECW fame, wrestler extraordinaire, unfortunately left the face of this earth this week. And man, like me and Ty was just talking about how this dude was scary as hell to me, but down to earth behind the curtain. And Ty has personal interaction with him. I do too, but he used to freak me the hell out. I'm not gonna lie. Like New Jack was unlike anybody I've ever met in my life. This guy right here was
that picture doesn't really do him justice because when we knew him, he wasn't that small. He was much larger.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude though.
He was cool, man, but he was intimidating as shit, yo. All right, so Tyrone, basically, I'm starting comedy. I have my first room. I start in Deltona, of all places, over there by Yaz. Well, I mean, Yaz is in Daytona. She is wherever she is. Stalkers. She's in Daytona, Ohio.
Can I pause and interrupt you just for a second? And only because I just wanted to point out that while you were talking about this like Debo figure in your life, I saw you tuck your chain in, and I was like, look at this reaction that Vince is having to this moment. Yeah, like you tucked your chain in, like you're about to get it.
Well, he looked me in the eyes, bro.
Yeah. You saw the eyes, and you were like, wait a minute. Yeah, sorry. I had to interrupt it and just point that out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man.
Oh man. Oh wow.
All right, you were saying so you're in Deltona, you're starting comedy.
So I was in Deltona with my chain tucked all the way in. And we had this spot that was it was attached. I can't remember. I think it was Howard John. I can't remember what the Best Western. And there was a club attached to it, and we used to do comedy there. And I was a new jack. Oh, no pun intended. In the comedy production realm, and I had like an open mic type.
Hold up, let me stop you real quick. Because Vince is humbling. He's being real humble right now. That place did not have a club. It had a restaurant. Mm. And what he did was he went in there and convinced those people to turn their restaurant into a club. like that's not, it was not a club. It was a restaurant, a bar restaurant. And he went in there with his, his Vince Taylor self.
Oh Lord.
And convinced those people that, hey man, y'all got a lot of space over there that's not being used, and it can be like this, and turned it into a club. I mean, literally, it went from. Can I say their name? Should I say their name?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It went from Gustoso's Pizza, to Club High.
Oh wow!
Like literally, it went from a restaurant to we a club now. Like that's what we are.
Well, I mean, I don't take credit for all that, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the kind words. But anyway, but New Jack was crazy. We're talking about a dude who, the top ropes. Like this dude right here would take people up to like get on the ladder, go way up on the scaffold, like where the cameras are. You know what I'm saying? And then like get them in the DDT, in the Jake the Snake, DDT lock. And then I remember there's a video out. I don't even want to show it because I think it's copyrighted. There's a video where he's up there and there's a dude, you could see him saying like, yo, New Jack, what is you doing? He's like, shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. And he like, and he fucks this dude's career up. I can't remember what it was. But even when the dude's getting carried out in a stretcher, he's like, man, you soft ass. Like he's talking shit to the dude. Like it's real. Like it's not an act. And that's what New Jack was. Like, I will never forget. I told you beforehand, and I can talk about him now, was not funny at all. But he would get on stage and you look at like, would you not laugh at this motherfucker if you are right in front of him and he has a mic and he gets up to you and he tells you like, yo, hey, a dog and a cat and a mouse walk into a bar and they all fell down. He's like, you heard what I said? You heard what I said, motherfucker? You wrote that? That was
awesome.
One of the scariest moments, New Jack was drunk after the club. He pulled up driving a Ford F-250, like driving it like it was a Honda, like a Civic hatchback. Like skirt up and down the back. You remember this time? You were there, right?
Yes.
He's like donuts.
It was a narrow back park. Like it was like they really wasn't supposed to have the parking back in the back of the building. So it really wasn't a real parking lot like that. But everybody once they became the club and everything like that, that's where you had to park. So he would come down the back of the hotel, like doing like 65 miles an hour,
like it's
at like the last minute, like, and you'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you? And the nigga look at you like, I'll kill you right here.
Yeah, he just gave that look.
Yeah, like, like I get, but you know what I'm saying.
I feel like this is a good eulogy. I don't know this man, but I feel like after this eulogy, I'm scared. If I had a chain, I would have tucked it in too. You know what I mean? Like so rest in peace. And like Vince said, talk about him now.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Yeah, please. What's up, guys?
Did he do that to his forehead?
Yeah. Okay, so the story behind the forehead, right? I don't know the exact, but from what I understand, he banged it into hold up. All right, you know what? I don't even want to put
what happened from what he told me was he was in a match or something like that, jumped from a very high place and hit his head, like it hit his front head of his head on the concrete.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and cracked his skull open.
So here, this is on internet. At the end of the match, New Jack bladed Kulas with a surgical scalpel, as the two had agreed, but cut too deeply and severed 2 arteries in Kula's head. This isn't even the story of his forehead. This is somebody else. Kula screamed in pain and then passed out as blood poured from his head. What the fuck? That's not even that's not even what the fuck happened to his forehead, but that's some shit that happened. Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I think what you read is the headline "Attempted Murder in Wrestling Ring," because that's what that sounds like. I'm like,
shit. Okay, here's more. Jagged lines scored across forehead. Many wrestlers wrestling fans on that blood. As a part of me wishes, so looking at these hideous scars made me wonder what steered. All right, Sabu. I don't know, man. I don't know if it clearly states what happened, but holy shit, bro.
Look out for the new Blerd Order documentary. That is New Jack's with apostrophe S City, and we'll do a new Blerd Order documentary on the dude, because it sounds like he's got a really interesting story, and
they did a documentary on him. Like he
all right,
and it wasn't that long ago, to be honest with you. So I don't remember what outlet it was on, but I know for a fact he had a documentary done on him.
Wow.
And I think it was, matter of fact, they do wrestling documentaries, or have been doing wrestling documentaries on, like, I know Roddy Piper just got one just recently, and New Jack was in that whole thread of different something like that in the NWO podcast.
Well,
good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Well, that's something interesting that happened, and unfortunately, look, we will have New Jack stories for that. I'll tell you another quick story. Terry Runnels. I don't know if y'all know who Terry Runnels is. I'm gonna keep it 100. I started losing my wrestling fandom like around high school, college. I was big WWF before it got sued and turned into WWE. I was heavy Jake the Snake, Brutus the Barber Beefcake,
Warrior,
Bushwhackers. That was Oxen Smash and Demolition, Luke and I fuck with them heavy. But then after it like started turning to WWE, I mean, I don't know. I think I was going through my heavy anime phase. I traded my wrestling belts in for Goku and Vegeta,
Senzu beans,
and all of them. But after that, I guess Terry Runnels was one of those hot girls, like blonde hair, blue eyed chicks who was like wrestling. Like when I was watching wrestling, the only ones that were wrestling in the ring was Scary, Sherry, and Sapphire, and like there was like nobody else. Then there became like a whole sidebar of wrestling where the women had their own kind of pseudo league within the WWE. And this young lady, Terry Runnels, was one of them. And she was hot, like million followers hot, right? And I didn't know that. I mean, I looked her up and I was like, oh, she's a big deal, so he came to the club with her. He brought her, and I was like, oh, Terry Runnels, and she didn't crack one smile. She was just like, to her, you could tell, like, yo, this is beneath you, New Jack. Like, why are you fucking with this open micer? You know what I'm saying? Who's got a 20-seater here, and you're used to performing in front of arenas and crap. And I brought him to this place called Sleuths, which was the first place I ever performed for my live show. Ty was there for my very first live show performance that I did where I was paid.
Nice.
And Sleuths, Tyrone, seats at the time seated probably about 30 people in the crowd. 30 people, 30 seats. It's right there by what now we have is the Orlando Eye. And the way it works is Sleuths is at a mystery theater, and it's at 10 o'clock. When you leave the mystery theater after seeing a show, if you're still not ready to go home, they invite you into the smaller room where we do comedy on Saturday nights. Just a little thing for, some would call some folks amateur comics, but amateurs and vets would stop by. So I got New Jack on this show. And the show doesn't start letting people in until like 9:45. Now, New Jack and Terry Runnels show up at 9:30, 9:15, and there's nobody in the seats, Tyrone. There's nobody in the seats. And so Terry Runnels is giving me this eye like, you had me drive this motherfucker all the way out here and ain't no seats. And New Jack is looking at me with that look like, nigga, you got me out here and ain't nobody in these seats. And I remember being like, all right, look, New Jack, ain't nobody here right now. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, here's what you want to do. You want to have a 5-minute set. You want to have 10 minutes. You know, you want to be, when you see the light, he's like, oh, so I'm supposed to perform in front of all these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's talking shit. You know, he's throwing shade. I was like, well, I mean, you know, there's people coming, you know, and his wife is like, I mean, Terry's like, who's the manager? Who runs this place? And I'm like, well, you know, everybody. And they're like, there's no reason for New Jack to be here, and there's nobody here. Like, they was going in on me, bro. And now here I am in front of New Jack and Terry Runnels, whose thighs could basically cover my whole body. And I'm trying to explain to them, like, look, guys, just give it till 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And they did, but they was highly upset. Also, they didn't get paid like that for the night. I think I gave them like $100 of my own money because we didn't get paid to do the show. I just was like, yo, look here, bro, just, you know. And yo, he kept coming around, man. And we kept trying to integrate him into the crowd, into the comedy world. But he's so used to being like offensive. You know, like I told you, like one of his favorite jokes, he was like, there's no such thing as an X F word, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, where's the punchline? He's like, well, that's the joke. Like, well,
very dry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. You know,
he doesn't want laughs, he wants gasps. Like that's what he wants.
Yeah. There's comedians that want just the shock factor, right? They don't care about the laugh. They just want you to be like, or like, ew, or like, whoa, you know. But yeah, that was clearly. But anyway, rest in peace, New Jack, man. I'm sure he's on the top ropes somewhere trying to convince an angel that it's not going to hurt when they jump off the scaffold. So, man, handle your business. A couple things did come up. Even though I'm not prepared for the show, I did happen to do some last-minute uploading of a couple of subjects. I don't know if y'all peeped it or not, but this week, the MTV Awards did award Marvel marvelously with all kind of awards. Wanda, Vision, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier won a lot of accolades this week by MTV standards at the very least. And I have to say, I agree with them. You know what I'm saying? It was nice for Sam Wilson, all right, to get his accolades, especially coming off of having killed the Altered Carbon series because he basically murdered that series. I don't know if it had anywhere to go, but it was cool. We see that Leslie Jones per minute. I don't know. I didn't even read it. I just uploaded it. Whatever.
No, I feel like it's rightfully so that.
So I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but we're all in agreement, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know, it did well. That was a good thing. Brushing over that, just wanted to mention that because it is a Blerdy thing. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, like the MTV, like I don't know since when the MTV Awards, anything that MTV awards you has been like, oh my gosh, you got an MTV. Like, come on, man. Like MTV is just a music channel.
No, it's not even music no more, though, bro. They don't even much play music, bro.
But I mean, I would take one if they wanted to give me one. You know what I mean? Like, just saying. Yeah, no, it's but it's not like the Emmys or the Golden Globes or something. And I don't know if those institutions will be taking the Marvel shows as seriously as MTV was taking them. I hope they will, because honestly, I think they deserve it. But like, there's still that, you know, that like comic book show stigma. I think that still needs to be overcome. But like, who knows? WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier or both might be the ones to kind of break that trend. Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, what this says to me is that people are watching Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it says. Because these are shows that came out this year and they're already getting awards. I mean, it's all the other shows on HBO Max and you know, including The Nevers, which had a mid-season finale this week. Did y'all watch that by chance? Did y'all check that out? Ty, you fell asleep, right? Try to watch it.
But I fell asleep last night. I've got to go back and catch the last episode, but I'm caught up to the last episode.
I can honestly say, if you didn't watch the last episode of The Nevers all the way through, you're probably not missing a whole lot, right? I mean, it was revealing if you watch the first few minutes of it, but if you fell asleep halfway through it, there's nothing at the end, it's not like, shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, it was like it was the last episode was almost like a history for the rest of the series. You know what I mean? Like here's why we're here, sort of thing. So yeah, it wasn't like a big like, oh, you know, I mean there was cool stuff that happened or whatever, but and I enjoyed it, and it went places I didn't expect. But like it's I mean it's it kind of caught me by surprise. It was just so different from the rest of the show. I was like, wow, I didn't expect to go here.
Can I tell you, Tyrone, that I had to stop and make sure I was watching the Nevers? Like I'm dead serious. Like I had to stop. I was like, wait a minute, did I hit the wrong? Like, is this the right show?
The first scene is
you watched it. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was just to your point. Like the first scene was something like the first visual you see is something that you haven't seen in that show at all. Like it was, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. It made no sense. I mean, I don't want to say it made no sense, but it was very
surprising,
very out of the blue. It was very like off, you know, just outside of the realm that we was expecting. You caught up with the Nevers. I gotta say, what I want to hear what Yaz got to say first. Yaz, did you see that? You saw the last episode or whatever?
Yeah, I saw that. So I just have like a couple of questions about it.
Yes, please. We all do. I mean, I do. I know I definitely do.
Who the fuck is in Amalia's body?
Who's got a Maserati?
So, Amalia, the main character.
Yeah.
True.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not who she is. She's somebody else.
She said she been said that though. She said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's not my face.
We didn't know what she meant. We didn't know what she meant. And now we know what she meant. And Tyrone, I think you have some insight into this, huh?
Yeah, well, the answer, yes. I don't know. Do we want to jump into it and
spoil that shit? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Man, fuck
okay,
that
spoiler
shit,
alert for the Nevers. But yeah, no, that is Stripe. That's the one that we see in the beginning of that episode as like this badass, soldier or whatever that had this with the scar across her face.
Oh, okay, the old lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and it the being essentially just kind of like took her consciousness, I guess, and put it in the body of Amalia, who had essentially just committed suicide, and was like, "Oh, here's a fresh body that you can have." So she was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah,
I mean that wasn't exactly her reaction, but
well, the question though, just to clarify though, Tyrone, Stripe isn't that girl. Stripe is the spirit that exists within that girl, right? And it passes on from being to being. So it's not like that person was the embodiment of who Stripe was, right? I mean, she is kind of like an angelic celestial type being that can transfer from one body to another. And it just so happened that that young lady whose name was Stripe had what was the embodiment of that being or whatever that is at the time. Am I wrong about that? I mean, because we saw the being leave the body and go through the wormhole, right?
Yeah, because the alien whatever they had, like from the ship or whatever, like that it's like translucent tentacles kind of like went through her as she was dying,
right?
Like and I guess took her soul or whatever it would be, and then use the other body or whatever. That's the understanding that I had. I could be wrong that that there is some sort of kind of ever present or like constantly immortal being that's passing from body to body, but I didn't get that from it.
No. Okay, am I tripping? So I'm tripping then. Ty, I know you fell asleep, so you probably don't have.
No. It's crazy because when we first encountered that whole conversation that they had when she told him it wasn't the face, I said it then. I said then that I thought there was like an alien presence or something that that kind of was inhabiting her. So it makes it like for it to come to this point, it kind of made sense because and it doesn't just make sense on that, it also makes sense from the aspect of the conflict between her and let me see what her name is, the one that they were gonna
Melody.
Yeah, the conflict between Malady, because Malady's is like like her spirit is the spirit that inhabits her is like more like it. I guess in representation, it would be that like of a demon or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Malady, you're talking about the one who now Malady that was like at the end of the show. It was kind of like a spin, like a little bit of a spin, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hello, Yaz's chin.
Sorry.
That's just starting to look like her pet. No, just kidding. But yeah, the malady, that was kind of a. Now I remember looking at her being like, why? And now you know why they kept her with the black makeup and kept her looking all fucked up, because they wanted to make it easy to disguise her when she was looking regular, right? So because when she first popped up as a reporter, I'm looking at her, I'm like, I know, why do I recognize her, but I don't know why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when they did the big reveal in the second to last episode, it made sense. But I gotta say, I'm loving it now. I didn't like the first episode's very cheeky, elementary way of introducing everybody. It was a little too, hey, well, here's Sandra, and she can make things happen with her hands, and hey, here's somebody who's really good at fighting, and here's somebody who can actually, they see the future, and here she's good at seeing electricity. Like I don't like it when the reveal is too, it doesn't have like,
you don't want to spell it out for you,
and a more creative way of introducing the things. Like I love how they did Bonfire Annie. I love her storyline. I love her character. I even love how they're doing the big tall chick. You know what I'm saying? Who's just kind of like, but ever so, madam, I'm so tall, I could push a rock in here. But
and the cop and Ben Chaplin, detective.
The wrestler,
his character's cool.
The fighter, the boxer.
Yeah.
I like him, and I also like Pip Torrance, which is
my man from
Lord killed him.
I can't see him not killing it. I've been loving his acting style since Preacher, that show Preacher on FX when he played Dan, you know what I'm talking about, bro. He played the general.
The head of the order.
Hands. Man, I can't remember his name right now. It's too much smoking. But anyway,
I'm gonna fill that blank up.
Please do.
I'm gonna do this due diligence.
He was so good in that show. He looked exactly like the comic book character. I didn't follow the comics until I started watching the show. Just keeping it 100. I'll let you know what comics I followed before the show, and this wasn't one of them. I found out. I did remember seeing this comic book in the comic book shops before I actually saw the show. Seth Rogen and his partner Evan did write the show, which made the script like hilariously action packed. But that's when I fell in love with Pip Torrance's acting capability, and he sure brought it to this show.
Yeah, he played Air Star in
yes, Hair Star. Yo, they did everything to this dude, man. They
went through a lot. A whole lot, man. He went through a lot.
Yo, Tyrone, you haven't seen Preacher?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen Preacher? Oh my God, yo, do yourself a favor, watch Preacher. It was on FX. It's only like 3 or 4 seasons long. I think it's like six episodes per season or something like that. I don't know if it's on Netflix. It's on what?
AMC. It's on AMC. So like,
it'll be a Hulu
AMC
show.
AMC has on demand or something. So
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will say that Hair Star endures. He endures quite a lot, yo.
All right.
I'll tell you one thing. He requested. He's like the general of hell. Like hell hires him to be like a general over the operations. Like hell is basically, hell and heaven are operated like the office. They're like a corporation. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're like Dunder Mifflin. And Pip Torrance's character, he's a general in like the Hell's Army, but he has like subordinates.
It wasn't Hell's Army. He didn't,
not Hell, but
no, it wasn't Hell at all. Like his job was to protect Jesus's last heir. Last heir.
Humperdew.
He was not working. He was working for like, oh my God, this is good. That was.
I'm definitely gonna watch this show just because like the joy y'all have just describing it. I have to experience what gives you this level of joy.
Oh,
Cause y'all are just giggling and stuff about the show, just talking about it. It's like, this is what I'm talking. I want to have that kind of conversation.
Seth Rogen, you will definitely see the Seth Rogen in this show. You know what I'm saying? But it's so badass, dude. There's a dude called the killer of the Killer of Saints, or what was it? The Knight of Saints, or the something of Saints. He was badass as fuck. Has a gun that pierced, like the gun shoots bullets through everywhere. Like
it could kill angels. It could
kill angels. He's indestructible.
Like,
bro,
he can kill God,
bro. The Killer of Saints, I think his name is, bro. And he's like this tall, undertaken looking guy. He's got like a hat. He just walks real slow. Everybody's like running from him all the time, and he doesn't run at all. He just walks, aims his big Joker-esque like at the Batwing gun at everybody, and it's just crazy. But this dude, but Pip Torrens, right? His character, he's over so many people. And at one point in time, he tells like one of his assistants that he needs to have a good time that night, right? And so the assistant calls up a bunch of hoes, right, to go and give him a good time. But they fucked around and called like male whores.
So like 4 or 5 big brolic dudes come in the room. Oh my God. Like, and they Yo, bro, man, because we gonna tell him the whole. You gotta watch it, man.
Tyrone, we have some homework.
Yes, please. That's all you see is them close the door, and then Harry starts talking to the lady. He's like, you know, I'm not gay, right? But it's like after the fact, and she's like, oh, this is after he's already. I think you got
like he might have had the good time still, and then
no, he definitely had the good time still. Like that, like he was clear about that. Look, bro, watch it, man.
All right, yeah.
You gotta watch it. But anyway, Pip Torrens brings his acting talent to the Nevers. Another dude that is I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna keep it real. This is one of the few times you'll hear me admit that I'm liking a love story. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of whatever reason, I don't know why, call me crazy, but I have this fascination with this whole thing that's going on between Penance, I think that's her name, Penance, and and the Crow, the dude for the Crow, the Augie, is that his name? August, Augie. I'm liking that whole little element that he's like shut out, he's not really, he's not able to be himself, because his sister is so overbearing. And it's weird because I don't know if y'all peeped this, but the sister who's in the wheelchair, she's in the background. You see her there over the letter T in the word Nevers. And when you see her, what do you think of, like, in terms of the characters that she's played? Because I think of her playing Professor X's girlfriend in the first 2 X-Men's that were.
Oh, she played McTaggart.
Yeah, she was.
Moira.
Moira. Yes, she was Moira.
Moira McTaggart.
Yeah, she was Moira. Yes. That's why.
Was she?
You brought the last name. What did you call her?
Moira McTaggart.
McTaggart. Okay, damn.
Moira McTaggart is her name. Yeah, and the X-Men.
My bad. I knew Moira. But I remembered her at that last hospital scene when Professor X, after Last Stand, transferred his mental capacity into his twin brother or whatever. Right. And she was there for that. So it's ironic to me that in this particular series that she's now the one in the wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? She's the one.
She's Professor X.
Yeah. And she's also over, trying to be over, a whole host of folks who have powers and shit like that. So I think that part's fascinating. Another thing I think is fascinating is this Jamaican dude who evidently, got a scholarship to England and is over there like beating down all of the whatever, even though I don't know how to feel about that. Like, they made his wife this poor humble black lady. It's very NFL of them to an NBA to put this poor young lady with this prestigious man who's clearly being tempted by the the white devil.
Number one draft pick. Some of those scenes, bro, I was like, yo, did she just suck his fingers?
Woo! Right?
I was like, oh.
I was like, oh, that's how. Okay, so that's how we doing it.
Wifey's not at home sucking fingers.
Welcome to the new Blerd order after dark.
She's like, you're a doctor. You be in people's shit all day. You think I'm gonna be sucking your fingers? Shorty was like, no, give me those fingers.
Yeah, wow. And he was like, okay.
Yeah. And the whole time, look, did you see they was having a conversation and he was doing some
yeah.
She was like, don't stop. I was like, oh, okay. The Nevers just did it.
Giving a whole new meaning to you gonna get these hands.
Yeah. We gotta do a review of 50 Shades of Grey after what I just witnessed. We're gonna have to watch it so we can review it. We're just gonna have to do it because I just want to see y'all just describe the scenes. That's all I want to see.
Yeah. She clenched her shoulders. She cleft her butt with one hand, and
she quivered as she spoke
slowly as she exploded into her fallopian tubes. I don't know. Yeah, man. Now, yes. Do you?
Oh God, I know where this is going.
I like how we all were just waiting for that, and then you started laughing. I know it's gonna be bad.
This just turned into a Nigerian real quick. Like he was just like, "Do you
ever have the problem when you put the finger in your tooth or your mouth and you stop on the hand when it's been inside the body?" In your nah. I mean, do you have that same feeling? Like, this is one of the few shows that, for whatever reason whatsoever, in all of our masculinity, I'm intrigued by the romantic plots that are being set in these shows. What's up with that? What's going on with me? Yes, tell me.
It's it's the menage a trois. It's the thought of what's unknown. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, women. That's how we grab you guys, is by like that little bit of just something that sparks your interest, and then you run with it. Imagination is key. So I think that this show has a lot for the imaginative on the aspects of their love play. But yeah, I do agree with you, though. It definitely is intriguing, and it does grab your attention, because I was watching one of the episodes and Austin wrote this off after the first episode. Yeah. And when one of the sex scenes, I don't remember exactly which one right now, but when one of the sex scenes came up, he stopped. He was like, "What are you watching?" Like, and I was just like, "That never showed." He was like, "There's sex scenes in there now."
Yeah,
it's getting better. And he was just like, "With sex?" And I was just like, I mean, they're getting it. Like, we're adults, And he just started dying laughing, and he was just like, I mean, if it works, it works. So
yeah. I mean, even with, even the scene, even the weird stuff that's going on with the police chief and the dude who runs the brothel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some weird shit going on there where, he's like, I was bloody drunk. I was drunk blind. And he's like, well,
the first time.
Yeah. He was like,
oh shit. Oh, how many times were there?
Right. And he keeps coming back, you know what I'm saying? And he gives him that look like, you're talking like you didn't have your face in my behind all last week long. But it's okay, Chip. Say what you need, if you need to feel better about yourself. I don't think, maybe it's the accents too, because I'm a huge Anglo. I'm gonna say this. I want to say it the right way. Don't be taking my words out of context. Anglophile. For whatever reason, I have this infatuation with the British accent, and the Lord and the Queen, and this, that, and the third, and I hate that about myself. Like the black power in me is like, God damn it, you fucking, you damn it, you colonizers, or the other half of me is like, but I love Doctor Who. You know what I'm saying? I love Picard. You know, like who am I to talk shit about half of the Empire? I mean, freaking Ray Skywalker was black. I mean, excuse me, black was British. So I don't know. I think that also contributes to my infatuation with the show. And I kind of think that for me, this is giving me such strong X-Men in London vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like creation vibes. I don't know if I really like how they did this most recent episode with the way that I don't think that they answered enough questions with how they started it off, and we're in a whole nother, part of the universe, and we don't know what time frame, where we're located, what that thing is. Mm-hmm. There's so much.
Makes you want to tune in, though.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I have to argue with that. Okay, so when the Stripe episode came in, I was like, what the fuck? Like, did I miss something? Like,
yes.
Like, what the fuck just happened here? I was like, wait a minute. And I had to stop, like, watching, like, a quarter way through, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know who this bitch is. I don't know why this is significant. I was just like, I feel like I'm completely, like, I'm thrown for a loop right now. So I had to, like, stop and go back. And I was like, no, I left off at the right point. I was like, what the fuck? So then I went back to where I, was in the episode, and I played it, and I kept watching, and I was just like, this is so fucking, I literally had to watch the episode twice to really understand why it was significant. I was like, why the fuck would they just do this? They just literally threw me for a loop. I don't know who this bitch is. You know what I'm saying? It was really kind of confusing. Like, I get it, but like, you can't do what Marvel does, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Marvel is amazing because there's Marvel. Like, I just felt like I was completely, like, lost in the middle of it, and then I had to get back into it. So
well, unlike Marvel, this would have been the full season for Marvel. This last episode would have been the full season. This is a mid-season finale, so therefore, you're probably, and I'm assuming probably in the second half of the season, they're going to do a lot of backtracking and giving you what led up to, because we still, like, there's a lot, like you said, that hasn't been answered. So, you give another 5-6 episodes where you can play with that and do whatever you want to do with it as far as unfolding the story and giving you the answers that you need. But as far as like the series goes and like how it's playing out, one of the biggest things for me, and like it's been this way since I first saw the first 2 episodes. I love the way that it plays on society and plays on the cultural difference between the European way of things and the American way of things. Because the Doctor is from America. He's all about, like,
he's from Jamaica.
Well, no, not him. Not him.
The evil one.
Oh, the other one. Okay.
Yeah, the he's from America.
Right.
And they've shown, like, when he gives his opinions are that of violence, of all kind of corruptibility, everything like that. But then they show you the European side, whereas they are dealing in corruption, but they try to mask it as though, like this is more like we need to have a smooth transition of how things are ran, and like this disrupts that smooth transition that we're trying to do, and we just want to get back to it, because even when it came down to killing what's her name, Malady. It came to killing Malady. They showed you the conflict within the order, where some thought that they were being too harsh, and some were like, look, but we need to make a statement. And the prince, that then it came back to like, well, you want to do something, but look, you want to seem like you're for the doing things the right way, but where's your daughter? Right. We know she's touched. We ain't stupid. We know what's going on. We know you got her out of here as soon as stuff hit. So I was like, wow, they just like, and that was kind of something that they kept going back and forth within that culture, and within the European culture, where you have even the conversation that Augie was having with his sister at the table, when they were listening into the couple, and then they were like, she said something, why don't you just kill her already or something. They was like, we're not. What did they say? We're not savages, or we're not we're not murderers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That's the way that they interpret and that they think of or they envision themselves as a culture, as being like, we're logical. We you know, the decisions we make are, you know, planned out and thought out. We're not just rushing to decide. But you see a lot of that actually happen. So it's such a contradiction. But I love the way they're playing it out, though.
It's actually.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tyrone.
Oh, no, I was going to just add to Ty's point. They get into like different social issues, like whereas X-Men was an allegory for racism and the civil rights movement. This is very much an allegory for basically what it comes down to, like kind of an anti-capitalist movement. It's very much like the powerful and the people with all the money and all the power versus, you know, the people who do all the work. I mean, even to the point where they had like a strike in one episode. A worker strike at the docks, and then he came down and he wielded his power. He's like, hey, if you don't do it, I'll find somebody else who will, basically. And, you know, and that's been one of the themes throughout the show. It's like these guys trying to keep power by saying things like, you know, we got to protect tradition and values and those kind of things, when really they're just like, but we want the money. Like these guys, you know, talking about all this stuff, and you know, they do really cool stuff with like the background, like while they're having these conversations about running everything, like you got guys sitting in the back just sleeping in chairs doing nothing. You know what I mean? And just, right. So it's this it's a really clever take on that side of the quote, the fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also touches, I think, where you're right. One of the big themes that I think they're trying to somehow convey without doing it overtly is there's a clear attempt to tackle sexism in the public realm as it pertains to, like, you know, the British the caste system or whatever it is that you want to call it. Like, there's a reason why I feel like this story, despite the fact that we now have uncovered the fact that there are so many different characters that have powers that have been touched, so to speak, ranging from male to female to possibly even intersectional, because there's that dude chick. Oh man, I shouldn't say that. That's the one Nimble. All right, the dude, the one who refers to he or herself as Nimble. You know, we're not really sure what the pronoun that should be used for this one is, but it's clearly like
it's a woman.
We know it's a woman in real life, or at least they were born a woman. But what she did say in the show also that, you know, she said something about men and you know, made sure that it was. But I don't know what
say we. She did say we, us men or us guys or something like that. So she did refer to herself as a him. Yeah. So having that conversation with Boxcar or whatever, Annie or whatever her name is.
Bonfire Annie.
Bonfire Annie.
What did you call her?
Boxcar.
Walking around with a stick and bindle, jumping on trains, eating beans out of cans and stuff by the campfire.
A Boxcar Annie.
Yo, there was a movie with somebody called Boxcar Annie in it too, bro. Like I don't.
Okay, Nimble. I see who Nimble is now. Yeah. Just for you know, I think we would refer to Nimble as non-binary.
Non-binary.
I believe that is based on that character and the actor and stuff. I think that's how how that would go.
Yeah. But my point.
The more you know. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, I have that actually on here. But we're not going to do it now. But I think that Tyrone is right here. That the story is clearly an underdog story, right? Mm-hmm. Where they have labeled the underdogs, you know, the undertrodden, the downtrodden of society, overwhelmingly women in this particular case. But I know you see the army of dead. I know you was gonna trip when you saw that comment. Thanks, Phil. All right. Thanks. Tyrone did. Tylene did ask us to talk about Army of Dead, but Yaz is afraid of zombies, so we couldn't talk about it because Yaz has a freaky relationship with zombies. And she said that if we talked about it, then we had to do it without her.
Well, can I be like?
I do not have a freaky relationship with zombies. I just don't like them. Like,
well, for Yaz's benefit, this movie, this was the least scary zombie movie I've ever seen. Like, it wasn't scary at all. Okay. No, it wasn't scary in the least. It was just an action movie. Like, there was nothing scary about it.
I watched the first 5 minutes, and when that fucking zombie thing came out of that goddamn truck and started yoking niggas and fucking fighting them and fucking like, you know, and like smashing them like prey, I was like, oh shit, like what the hell? Like, he is like a souped up zombie. And then I'm sorry, they lit like a whole fucking clip into that nigga, and he didn't even flinch or nothing. He was just like full-fledged fucking running. That shit's scary as fuck. Okay, we have the coronavirus. And every zombie movie, every fucking zombie movie is some damn virus that, you know, they didn't get the vaccine out or whatever, and then we all fucking mutate. That's why I don't watch zombie movies.
I think we just struck a nerve with Yaz. At this point, I'm gonna ask you, Yaz, to just check in with yourself. Just breathe deeply. You're safe here with us. Everything's fine.
Oh my God. Yeah, yes.
I'll finish watching it.
Legit, Phil, who's in the comments. Phil, thank you once again, Phil, the podcast doctor. For those of y'all who are in the podcasting and you need some assistance, Phil literally got us up on like 12 different platforms within like 48 hours.
Yeah.
He's like a magician. So Phil, thank you so much, man, for jumping on the team. We sincerely appreciate you. He's a little camera shy. I don't want to be on the show, whatever reason, but it's all good. But the when we discussed, like Ty had brought up the potential to have a zombie themed show where we talked from everything Walking Dead to 28 days later, and Army of Dead and all of this. Man. And Yaz was like, okay, well, dog, you know, if y'all do that show, dog, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I can't be there, dog, because I don't fuck with zombies. Like, I really, like, that fucks with me. Like, Austin will be like, yo, like, I was watching the zombie show, and I was like, yo, what the fuck, dog? Like, how the fuck do you want to watch that shit, dog? And he's like, yo, what the fuck, dog? You know what I'm saying? So Yaz was like, yo, Phil, Yaz was basically threatening to be a no-show if we did a zombie show. She's like, well, y'all gotta do that shit without me, dog, because I don't do zombies, bro.
I'm busy that day.
I'm like, yo, like, you can't even just be on this. You can't even just talk about it. She's like, nah, dog, like, for real, like, that shit really, like, fucks me up, like, dog, like, for real, like, dog, like, for real, like, you know, it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
I'm an insomniac. I'm sorry, I'm an insomniac.
Now, you know what we got to do? We just got to do a surprise zombie show, and that way we just can't do it. I'm kidding, guys.
You know what happens when we're on Instagram and shit ain't working out? That's what will happen to you guys. Magically the fuck disappear, okay? I'm out.
Yo,
I will say this. To Zack Snyder's credit, he did, and Tyrone actually, said something about this. This was more of an action movie. This wasn't like literally. This was like as action packed of a zombie movie as you may have seen before, but it wasn't scary at all. Like at no time I was like, look, I'll put it like this. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, right? They came in the room while I was watching it and jumped into bed, and at some point the tiger ate somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? And look, my daughter said, "Is that a tiger?" I said, look. I said, "Yes, that's the tiger." As the tiger ate the man's head. She said, "The tiger ate the man's head?" I said, "Yeah, baby, it's a zombie tiger." So she was like, "A zombie tiger." So at no point was she like, "Oh my God." Not at any point. Like, so that, and my son either. So, and they usually, if it was something scary, they'd be like, "Oh, that's scary," and they'll leave out the room or something like that. But it was nothing like that, man. Like, this was literally just an action-packed movie. Like, if you could have took the zombies out and it would have just been an action movie. Like, it was like, it was one of those type of movies where I was just like, it was, in ways it was comical, because I was expecting, like, from the previews, I was expecting a little bit more of the horror aspect of it, but in no way, shape, or form was that, to me, a horror movie.
Yeah, the zombies were literally just targets to shoot at. That's all they really were in this movie. It was just like an excuse to just have a bunch of blood and bullets flying and fire and stuff like that. It was they didn't jump into the zombie stuff really. They didn't even really,
they didn't jump into the story really. Like
they were.
If we're being clear, like it just it was. I wanted to like it. I wanted to. You heard me when I called you and I told you I was like, hey man, we should talk about this. It's coming out. It's gonna be big. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. Boom, boom, boom. And then I watched it.
It's funny. I feel the exact same way, and I think this might be one of the first times where I'm like, I agree with you.
What?
I agree 100%. Yeah, this is new ground that we're breaking. Oh, yep, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 6:30. Welcome to Multiverse.
We have just merged shows.
That was one hell of a segue, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Wow. So are you? I can't tell Tyrone and Talim of the Multiverse whether y'all are recommending this or not. Like,
you'll have fun.
I can't tell what's going on right now. Should we watch it?
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's a good time, but I would just say like it doesn't really give much to dive into. Like it's very surface level, it's very superficial, it's very just visuals and whatever, and it's just it's fun. That's about as good as a review I can give.
Yeah, oh man, I wanted to like it so bad. I really did. And Zack Snyder, I'm really. Yeah, he did. It was a lot of questionable decisions in that movie. One of the things I will say that I liked, and I've actually said this before. The girl who played the helicopter,
Tig Notaro. Yeah, she's hilarious. She's a genius.
Okay, now one of the things that they had a scene where she had on an aviator's uniform, right? Mm-hmm. And she's leaning up against the car and like, I guess, I don't know if she was talking or smoking a cigarette or something like that, but you see her just doing it. At that very moment, they did a shot of her. And I swear to you, all I saw was Tom Cruise in Top Gun. Like, I swear, like if I had a picture of Tom Cruise in Top Gun doing the same thing and her right there, you would swear that was the same person. Would swear, like literally. I've said this before when I saw her in Discovery. I was like, yo, it looks like a female Tom Cruise. She got the same haircut. Like they like yo.
Yeah, like she's got that bone structure. Like, yeah, I see it.
Yes. Yeah, man. She's funny. She's funny, and I like her. I like her as an actress. I like her as an actress and everything like that, man. So
she's also a very, very, very funny stand-up comic. If you're ever looking for a good comedy special, I can highly suggest her work. It's hilarious. She's
wow, I didn't even know
she's really
a comic.
And like, what's up?
Who are you talking about?
Tig Notaro.
Tig Notaro.
Yeah, famously, she had she got diagnosed with breast cancer like right before she did like her first big special, and she kind of just like dealt with it on stage, but like in just this hilarious, like vulnerable special, crazy, like legendary stuff. I highly recommend it.
Well, Vince, to give you a little bit better idea of who she is, because I never even heard that happen. But congrats to her for beating that and everything.
Yeah.
But you know her from Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, as being the engineer. The one that I told you. Remember when we watched the episode? And I was like, she looks like Tom Cruise, a female Tom Cruise.
Oh, the doc. Was she she's not the doctor?
She's an engineer.
The engine. Oh, the one that she's a little older. She kind of gives Dr. McCoy vibes a little bit.
Yeah, gives you Tom Cruise vibes.
Oh yeah, she's in this. Oh, okay, yeah. So she actually does kind of give me like some sort of she gives me stand-up comedy vibes. I could see that. Oh yeah, the one that plays off of of old boy who actually has the ability to use the spore drive in time in
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, check her out. She's one of those comics that like can say a few words and then just have people laughing for like 20 seconds and just stand there and just like let them laugh. It's pretty fun to watch.
She does the same thing on Discovery. She's very witty.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you'll say something and she'll have like a snappy comeback, and you're like, you sit there for a moment, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like, yeah, so she is funny.
So
the
ahead,
real reason why I didn't watch Army of the Dead is because I didn't want a Netflix cheat.
What?
I started watching it. All right. But Austin really was the one that wanted to watch it. And then he just got home from like working like, I don't know, like a long day in the sun. So I just kind of like turned it on so he could just pass out real quick. And I watched the first like 10 minutes. And then I realized he was sleeping. I was like, oh, I got to turn this off. He wanted to watch this. So. That's really why I didn't watch it. But I'll watch it and I'll text y'all and I'll let you know what I thought about it. Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna be crying. I'll never sleep again. But it was an okay movie.
I'm gonna be like, I have nightmares, you fucking asshole. That fucking big ass zombie. I keep shooting him, but he keeps coming for me.
The funny thing is, it's like you have these nightmares about zombies when I would have more nightmares about my tortoise, like being so large. And for you, that's no big deal.
No.
And also, I thought Mati raised you better than that. I thought you were raised on like Exorcist and Poltergeist and like she was like, you got to turn that Barney shit off and watch some of this Rosemary's Baby.
That is why I am so tainted now. It's why I don't watch horror movies. Like if it's rated R, I'm like, is it like more thriller or is it like really scary? Because I don't know if I could do this right now, because like my mom, like she will fuck me up about her scare. Like she's like allowing me to watch scary movies as a kid. Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, we're gonna have to have a show dedicated to this conversation.
So
so bad. Literally, okay, so the movie I think that haunted me.
You haven't watched it through the Conjured series?
No, hell no.
Conjuring.
Okay, so listen, hold on. My mom literally, she called me right before we went live, and she's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you. How you doing? Everything." I was like, "I'm good." She goes, "Want to come for dinner tonight?" She's like, "We can watch the what is that movie that just came out? Quiet Place in the Country or something like that." She's like, "The second one came out. You want to watch it?" I was like, "Fuck, dude, I'm not watching that shit."
No,
she's like, "Why you gotta be a bitch? Yeah, come on."
Wait. What came out?
Quiet Place 2.
It came out?
Yeah. She's like, "You want to watch it with me?" No.
Hold up. When?
It came out already?
Fire Stick, bro. Fire Stick. Come on.
But when?
Hold on, you talking to Tyrone?
I didn't see that. When did that? Yeah, I didn't see it come out. When did Quiet Place come out?
I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if it was Quiet Place or it was one of those fucking movies. I don't know.
Just kidding, FBI. That movie's not out yet. Nobody's seen it.
I'll ask her. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was something completely scary. And she's like, "You want to watch it with me?" And I was like, "Fuck no, I'm not watching that shit." I'm like, "You know who this is? Who you're calling right now?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Yeah, come on." I'm like, "No, we can watch something else." I'm like, The Croods 2 came out. We can see that.
Yeah, just like I'm cool with that. We can do Raya and the Dragon if you want.
I saw that one. It was good. I liked it. I liked the message. Message was dope.
Yeah, I'm sure Ty watched that too with his house full of kids, man. The Quiet Place 2 coming out would have been news breaking because I know that they have developed. I know that they're supposed to be releasing that, but I thought it was going to be one of those hybrids where it's in the theater and on the show at the same time.
I just looked at it, and the release date is May 28th.
Oh shit! So it's upon us.
It's next week. Yeah, so I was right. So it's next week coming up.
There's a lot upon us, by the way. There is a lot of new stuff coming out. And a lot of shows that we've been waiting for. One in particular is Ragnarok. Ragnarok will be out.
Oh, Ragnarok's coming back out.
Ragnarok will be out next Thursday.
Oh shit!
Yes, so we've been waiting for that. And that actually is one of those shows that I was referring to last week when I said Netflix. One of the things about Netflix is it affords you the opportunity to put a show out and kind of get the feedback from the fans and determine, which direction you go from there. Because one thing about Ragnarok, although it was good, it wasn't great.
It was not.
It's so, but in essence, it was good enough for us to warrant, like, all right, we'll give it another shot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, if with certain shows on Netflix and with Netflix putting out so much content, they can afford for these hit or misses. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I just noticed that the budget for that Zack Snyder movie was $90 million.
Jesus.
That was the
But you gotta
budget.
think about the makeup and all, like, the prosthetics they use for the zombies and stuff like that. Like, that makeup shit costs a lot of money, like, for them to be able to have
a lot
like sure look and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking money. So they had to pay a
He
lot
also-
of makeup artists and the prosthetics that they had to use for that shit.
We also came in under budget, which is not usually the case. But yeah, he came in under budget making this movie. I think he did it by like not focusing half the shots in the movie. But that's something that you can see, when you watch it. But yeah, a lot of blurry shots.
Yeah,
I guess that's a style thing that he wanted to do.
I noticed that off the beginning that the filter that they used on the camera is not that like a MCU camera. Like you can tell the quality, the video quality of like what the MCU is using on their movies as opposed to this movie. And I'm not just saying Netflix does that, because Netflix does have a lot of movies that use that same type of filter that the MCU uses, but this wasn't one of them. This literally was like, I was like, hold on a second. I started going to my TV to make sure my it was working properly.
Yeah.
It was like
everything's fuzzy.
Yeah, and so until they would do the fuzzy shots until they like would zero in on a specific character. When like if Dave Bautista's talking, then they would zoom in on him, and then the camera would be like clear, but then everything else on the outside of that shot is blurry. Like the whole background is blurry. Everything.
Good old Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it was like, wow, dude, $90 million and you did this. Like,
yeah. Based on that series, because I haven't seen that Ragnarok series y'all were talking about, and that picture that you just put up. So I'm guessing, is that like, is he like a cobbler and he becomes Thor or something? Well, that's a tiny little hammer that he was wielding. I don't know.
Well, let me say this first before we answer that. Have you seen what is that movie? We watched Mortal. Have you ever seen Mortal?
Yeah,
actually,
Mortal.
I did see Mortal. That was pretty decent.
Okay. Well, if you liked Mortal, this kind of follows the same kind of like storyline as Mortal.
Okay.
Basically, it's modern day. It's modern day now. So
nice. All right.
Oh well, I will preface it and tell you that I didn't like it. Tyrone, I didn't. All right, let me not say that. Let me rephrase that.
Say, dude,
let me say this. It could have been so much better. Okay. But it was captivating in the story that they told. Mm-hmm. But I liked Mortal better, and Ty for some reason thought that Mortal looked so fake, and I didn't think it looked so bad. I thought Mortal was actually very convincing to me, and I like the plot, and I like the way that it was written. It's not in England; it's in Ireland. I think it's in Ireland. It's in Norway.
It's
Norway.
It's Swedish, yeah.
Okay, so it's like straight. That's their lineage and their that's their ancient religion and stuff. That's pretty cool. You have to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm if you're like me, Tyrone, and I think you are, and me and Talim, I think, are the same. I think you probably have already figured out the plot line in your head, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's because it's you alluded to it when you were talking about it. You were like, "Is this a cobbler?" And I know you were joking, but yes. But yes, follow your brain. Your brain waves are leading you in the right direction for the most part. And I mean, it's a decent little story.
And it holds more true to the historical. Like, I don't even know if I can say historical, but the more mythological side of it. So it does kind of reference the beings and the war and the stuff that actually took place.
Right.
I think that part of it is intriguing, and I put it like this: the reason that he just got excited, and I'm a little excited about season 2 is because where it left off.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm not going to tell you anything else, but where it left off left you like, okay, all right, now we talking. Like, it was more like, now we talking. All right. So,
okay.
So
I'll put that one on the list.
Yeah, it gives you it's almost as if, like, I mean, without telling you the movie, it's like it ends it almost right where Rocky starts to punch the meat, like like right when it's about to go down, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, the season 2 has potential to be more Marvel-esque, more superhero-esque. I'll say it like this: the first season is kind of it gives you
backstories.
Yeah. It's more of a developmental, introductory. You know what I'm saying? Like of ordeal with hints of getting really deep into the actual like fight and action that we're used to. And then the way it ends, it kind of ends off like, oh, it's about to get real. Oh, okay. And then it's over, and you're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, so
Vince is underplaying it. It's more like, if we're gonna do a Rocky comparison, it's more like it ends where Rocky and Apollo are punching each other.
Right. So like the freeze frame.
The punch is about to connect, and then it goes off, and you're like,
yeah. It's kind of like that.
All right.
What nice. I think what this one does, Tyrone. All right, if we're looking at Thor, let's take the story of Thor, right? But let's take the whole fantasy element out of it and bring it into a realistic world, right?
Okay.
Like let's take the Marvel, the Thor, Loki. Let's get rid of that whole. Let's say it's a real life
mythology. We're doing strictly Norse mythology. Like that's where we're going with it. We're going to talk about Fenris and all of the other, gods and everything else. It's really breaking down the giants and the gods of war, the last war, Ragnarok, and all of that. That's what Ragnarok is. So
and if just imagine, say, like Thor, right? Like the concept of demigods. Like y'all are familiar with the concept of demigods, right? Like like a god who basically has sex with a human and they produce a regular some would consider Jesus Christ a demigod. You know what I'm saying?
We could compare Hercules.
Hercules is a demigod. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're familiar with the concept of demigods, then this kind of gives you like a storyline based on the concept of demigods. But in real life, if the Norse gods of old are real in this storyline. So if that's something that intrigues you, then check it out. But I liked Mortal a little bit more because it went direct at it. Like it wasn't like, oh, here's a guy who maybe, blah, blah, oh, you're running into your powers. Like here's a guy who's like, oh shit, I got powers. Where the fuck is these powers coming from? You know what I'm saying? And when you learn, right. Like I don't know how to contain this. Like that's a little more my speed, than like it
was different though, because in Mortal, he got his powers because he was a descendant of the bloodline of
Thor.
Like in this, that's not what happens. Like he does. Like the reason that the kid who gets the powers of Thor gets it is because of his personality, and that he's got a good heart, and that he's like one of those.
And it's more of I see. It's like it's almost like a Spider-Man story in a way. Like he hit his thumb with a radioactive hammer and became.
No, it's more like Captain America.
I'm messing with you.
I'm messing with you. The story of Thor in the Marvel sense of
becoming worthy.
If you're worthy, then you know what I'm saying, and that's kind of what it was, that he was deemed worthy, and then granted the power of Thor.
Okay,
like, that's how that was. So it's a little different. But I like that.
That's not how Thor. That's not what happened in the Thor. In the Thor, in the Marvel sense, it's still through lineage. No. Odin is his dad, right? And he did have to be proved worthy to become to tote millionaire. But in order to be Thor,
no. You're right. He was the son of Odin, but it wasn't his power to wield Mjolnir was given to him by Odin. It was, and he had to earn it, because remember, he took it away from him. He took the power away from Thor at one point, and he was just mortal. So bro, it's it is. So
it is, man. You gotta go.
That's what I add to the list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was wondering if I feel like we've got a lot of good recommendations today. I like this little recommendation train that we're on.
Right.
We got some good homework because there has been like this gap of like stuff that's like you have to watch this. You know, it's like, yeah, we watched the Nevers and we watched, you know, Army of Dead and stuff like that. But, you know, we're just, I feel like we're all just counting down for that Loki, man.
So have you guys watched The Bad Batch?
Yes, it is up. It is up. Yes, it is up.
We're up to episode 4. I'm completely caught up. Are you guys caught up?
I didn't watch episode 4. I'm up to that of The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch.
How are y'all liking it?
I'm like episode 2 on Disney Plus, yeah.
But
right,
it
I
is still
saw the
giving
first
me
episode.
The only thing I got about the only problem I'm having with The Bad Batch is this storyline is all too familiar. We've already discussed this. Like it's literally like the girl clone is Baby Yoda, the Bad Batch is the Mandalorian, and the storyline is basically that. I mean, with the exception of the fact that, you know, that the clone, instead of being a Yoda, is a girl, you know, and they're set up to protect her. I mean, it's interesting seeing the world through the lenses of some clones, but it's also like, you know, we've kind of been down this road. I don't know, man. I hope that, you know, I don't know.
I got the sense, like, because the first episode set up a lot of really cool stuff as far as like you know, things after Order 66, like breaking down and then creating an empire, and that kind of stuff was looking really cool. And I don't know, like I only saw the first episode, so do they start diving more into that too, or is it just that they focus more on this little girl? Omega is her name, right?
Yes, Omega.
Yes, Omega's her name. So they focus kind of on both. Basically, it's basically telling you like her story and stuff like that, and like, you know, how she was kept on Camino, you know, up to that point and everything, and they want to lose her, but then at that point, you know, they realize that, you know, she's an asset, but, you know, like they don't understand why she's an asset. So it's, you know, it's about that, and also, you know, about, you know, after Order 66, how everything, you know, took play and who basically was in power and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it has a lot of different details inside of it, and I'm kind of enjoying it because we get to also see, you know, like different characters that we've seen in Mandalorian, but we get to see them before they get to that point as well. So it's it's pretty cool.
That's a good point.
So I mean, like, you know, you got to keep watching because like in the like I know Vince, you said you didn't see the 4th one, and then you guys aren't caught up in the 4th episode. So we actually see like one of the bounty hunters in Mandalorian animated, and I can't wait for you guys to figure out who she is. You know what I'm saying? But like it's
nice. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm gonna keep going with it because I mean I'm always down for some decent Star Wars content. You know what I mean? But it was really good.
The story is really good. Like if you guys keep, you know, if you keep up with it, you know what I'm saying, keep watching. The story is really good. And you know, it kind of goes through like, you know, the different things because they're clones, but they're defective clones. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The problem. They're not defective. They're enhanced, and they're just not enhanced the way the Empire wants them to be. So
the Empire wants them to be.
Right. So that's what's wrong with them. That's why they're the Bad Batch, is because they're enhanced, but they're not enhanced in a way that they can be controlled. So that's what the problem.
Yeah.
One of the things that I had was like and this isn't like a nitpicky thing, but I couldn't get it out of my mind while I was watching. Like the kids just look weird. Like they're creepy looking. I don't know if it's the animation or something, and then also like anytime a kid shows up in that show, like they sound like a 35-year-old person. And I'm like, this is just weird, man. So yeah, I had to kind of get over that part of it because like I was like, why does that kid sound like he smokes 2 packs a day? Like I don't understand. Hopefully it doesn't keep going that way.
Oh man,
I don't know if that.
Oh my God.
But you're right though. The kids don't show up. It's like, hey, so
yeah, they're like, it's like, why are you looking at me like that, kid? No way.
And in all honesty, like I'm still like, what's really, and yeah, as you've watched the whole thing, what's really going on with Omega? Like, what are they really trying to, you know, she's clearly got something special about her, right? Like there's things she can do that everybody else can't do. She's the very last.
Don't know. Yeah, she's a clone, but we just don't know who she's a clone of.
Right.
And we just don't know like what enhancements she also has. We do know that she's very adventurous and she likes, you know, anything that she can get her hands into. And, you know, she's young, so, you know, she's very susceptible to deception and, you know, a bunch of different things. So I'm curious to see who she's the clone of and like what her enhancements were and why she was so important to, you know, the I don't know what the hell they're called, those long alien looking people on Camino. What are they called?
Oh, the folks that was on the Clone War in Clone Wars that orchestrated all the clones. Yeah, with those
aliens.
necks.
Yeah, I don't know what their names are.
I feel like this is a call
doing research here.
A dial Minister Q moment.
Yeah. Yo,
Right?
this close to hitting up Minister Q.
Yeah.
Okay, they're Kaminoans. Kaminoans is what they are. I thought,
Caminoans.
Wow.
Kaminoans, yeah, whatever however they're gonna pronounce it.
Tyrone's Wi-Fi speed. Good Lord, man. That man Google's faster than a speeding bullet over there, man. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, great.
But I like the notion. I get the sense that we're gonna find out that that Omega is like a big deal and is going to end up being somebody evil or somebody significant to the storyline as we progress. There's too much potential for her to not be really, you know, brought
Can I
up.
tell you who I think she's a clone of?
Let me guess. Ultron.
Smart ass. wrong. Disney owned, you know, operation. Okay, smart ass. No, I think she's an Anakin clone.
Anakin clone.
Who?
Yeah.
She said an Anakin clone.
You think this is an Anakin clone?
Yeah.
You think she's a clone?
Anakin had a lot of great potential, but because of his lack of not knowing what the difference, you know, between attachments were and not, you know, and having them and why he can't have them, and that was the only thing that was really wrong, you know, like Sith wise, that they saw in him. He was the perfect soldier, the perfect Sith Lord. Remember, like they literally used, like Palpatine literally used like General Dooku like as a fucking pawn to lure his ass in, you know what I'm saying, like.
Right.
And help him, you know, become the man like Darth Vader. So I just honestly think that like that's why she's so significant. Like she's probably a clone of Anakin or something.
Oh yes, wouldn't the clone resemble? I mean, not necessarily look just like him, but wouldn't it like have something like that would resemble Anakin, like his hair color, or like if it's a clone of him? I mean, I've never seen a clone that doesn't have any like resemblance. Like,
well, there is some resemblance because she is a very annoying child. So there's that. That's I support Yaz's theory on that.
That's about it.
Oh my god!
Well, yeah, there is that part.
Y'all been hanging out a little too much. That's all I have to say. You're rubbing off Ty. You're rubbing off on Ty a little too fucking much right now. Oh my god! All I have to
tell which
say.
one is which anymore.
Yeah. I'm on one today.
No. So you can clone somebody, but like, you know what I'm saying, like without like cloning their actual, you know, facing like those characteristics. Remember, like, you know, they're all about gene mutation and, you know, like, you know, combining different things inside and creating like the perfect being. So remember, you can have all the characteristics like personality traits and stuff like that of a person, but just not have to look like them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're clones. Yeah, it can be anybody.
Yeah, but there's a baseline. There has to be like a baseline. When you do a genetic clone, you have a baseline that you're cloning. So there's going to be something of that genetic trait that is going to emerge in that other person or that other clone. So whether it's hair color, eye color, you know, height, whatever it may, like it's something that's got to be in that baseline. Am I right, Tyrone?
Well, yes, and also to add to that, it is Star Wars canon that, as far as we know right now, clones all come from one source, and it's that you know, and it's Jango Fett, yeah, and that's why they all look the way they do. but you know, that's starting to get murky with Omega and with you know, with Grogu and stuff like that. So we don't know, that could be changing. But at the moment, the rules in Star Wars are like clones come from one source.
Right.
Well, I guess unless you're talking about Palpatine, which is kind of like a weird thing, but they seem to be kind of erasing, trying to erase that whole story.
Let's say that the clones, at the very least, in the era of the Republic being developed, amidst the Clone Wars, were all from Jango Fett, and that after that generation, it took on a different, you know, storyline, because that's when obviously my man with the black saber in the
Moff
Mandalorian. What's his name again?
Moff
Gideon. Excuse me. My man Esteban, who still, I think, hasn't gotten his flowers yet. Frankly, I think he is under appreciated as fuck. I remember him from Fresh. Yeah, even a good guy. I mean, if there's a movie called Fresh that is not nerd related, but you need to watch it, and it is like if you mess with Snowfall, Fresh is like Snowfall prequel. You know what I'm saying? It's, and believe it or not, in Fresh, which I'm getting completely off on a tangent right now, but Fresh has some geek references. It was in Fresh that they were talking about Punisher being more powerful than Spider-Man, and there was this dude in there who was like, "Bam, Spider-Man goes down, bam, Punisher taking out all of them. Punisher take out the X-Men," and X-Men was like, "X-Men take out the Punisher? No, dude, Punisher taking out everybody. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was these kids that was slinging dope. This is a New York-based story. And Esteban plays like the dope boy uncle. Was not really an uncle, but he's like sleeping with the sisters, sleeping with his sister, and he had a do-rag and he had the Spanish accent. It's like you can never really place what Esteban is, because in Mo Better Blues, like he's just a black guy. You know what I'm saying?
Do the Right Thing. I think he was Dominican and Do the Right Thing, but I'm pretty sure he's Dominican, right? Giancarlo Esposito.
I think so. I want to say so.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Breaking Bad, he's like, I was
just gonna say, Breaking Bad, he's a fucking
plays a
badass.
guy.
Look, we're talking about probably, I would say, maybe 30 years of acting.
Like, that's great.
This dude's experience is like, wow, like he's been in everything. You can imagine from the B shot movies to now being an A. I would call him an A-side actor for me.
Yeah. Anytime he's one of those where like anytime he shows up, you're like, yes, this guy. Thank you for being in this thing.
I don't know his name, but
I mean, look at him right now. I mean, the dude. I want to say
him. That's me. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh,
yeah, no, that's good. It's close.
I want to say, actually, now I could see, y'all do have like a likeness to each other, you and Giancarlo Esposito. But is he in the Marvel universe? Am I? Oh, now I'm lying. Come on, bro. Hey,
he hasn't made it into the Marvel universe yet.
Okay, he hasn't.
Not
you sure? All right, I want to say even if it's like in a cartoon or something, I want to say that he was a character somewhere, but maybe not. But Giancarlo Esposito, is definitely not gotten his flowers. I remember he was snubbed for the Emmy for the Breaking Bad, his performance in Breaking Bad. And he ended up not getting it. He was gracious about it, but he was nominated for like best supporting actor or something like that.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see that season of Breaking Bad, I think it was season 3 or 4 or something, where he was like one of the main villains. He a villain unlike any other. All right. I'll just say that. But anyway, the purpose of us talking about him was because we were talking about that movie Fresh. Which I recommend too. Yes, I think you would love that movie. I don't know where you would find it now. I haven't seen it on Netflix or anything like that.
Might have to rent it. Google, Fire Stick, FBI. There is a. You know what I would love to see him do. I would love to see him be the MCU's Magneto. I think he would be perfect as Magneto. I think that would be amazing. You know, I think the world's ready for a black Magneto. I say go for
Or
it.
Xavier,
Dominican Magneto, whoever.
I don't know.
I think either, but I think he would be perfect as Magneto, because Magneto's like one of those like villains where you're like, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
What's about him saying that is that there's an article where it says that he dressed up as Magneto. Shoots up as Magneto in a stunning image. I'm trying to find the image. But I also found an article that says the next step for him is that he wants to be in a Marvel MCU movie.
Yes, make it happen.
That's something he wants to do.
Oh wait, you know what? No, not even Magneto. Norman Osborn.
Make
him Norman Osborn.
I could see Norman. He could be
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I would rather him be Ty. Hold on. I would rather see him in the MCU than the Spider-Verse, because I think he would be more of an interchangeable character. I don't even know if either of those characters are. I mean, Magneto, I could definitely see, even though I have latched on to the Michael Fassbender character for Magneto.
And he's good. He's good in it.
Very good.
Without a doubt.
I think he kills that role, and I even like old boy
James McAvoy.
Yeah, oh my God, I love the casting of these folks.
Yeah.
And I honestly am willing to rock with them for however long they're willing to be in the franchise. Now, if we're talking, I don't know, maybe. If we're talking like a multiverse, in direct, introduction of him in a manner that he can be a villain but still be somebody else, and like I could see him in Wakanda. I could see him in in a whole bunch of different roles. I don't know, man. I'm a little cautious about him being miscast, or because I want to make sure that whatever he gets, he truly is able to smash that part.
But his range is, I think his range, bro. We just attested to it. Like, he's been acting for probably over 30 years, man. Like this, there's not a role that he can't master and pull off. I've seen him in so many different roles that, like, anything you give him the script, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. We've seen him on screen do it. There's not many movies, if any, that I've seen him play a bad role. So I don't think at this point in his career that's going to start now. So yeah, man, if he wants to be in the MCU, Marvel, it would do Marvel justice to go ahead and let him get in there and get in where he fits wherever.
I think they should have put him in the new Blade movie.
Ooh.
Not as Blade, obviously, but as like a villain.
I could see him as was it Whisperer? What was
Whistler?
Whistler. I could see him being like Whistler.
Or
I mean, we could come full circle back to the WandaVision stuff, and maybe he could be Mephisto, because Mephisto's in that realm of like the Darkhold and Blade and Ghost Rider and all that.
If we're circling back, he could fucking be Ultron, yo.
I'm out.
Oh my God. I knew that was coming. Right on the grill. Right on top.
You're gonna be turning to Kojo on you. Hold on. That's not what we're talking about right now. No, that's awesome.
I don't know.
He would be a great
Whistler,
Ultron,
because Whistler's such a sidekick part. I would rather have. If Giancarlo's going to play anything, it's got to be dominant. I'm talking about, Galactus. I'm talking about a significant part. Like, this dude has the range. And what's funny? Just on a completely different subject. I was watching. I was at doing some work this week, and some folks came into my, to my office or whatever. And I played, there was two little kids that, of course, as you've seen you haven't seen, the one that's not where, and I've got like Black Panther, Yoda, like in a professional sense, like in like real frames, like hung up on my wall. I've got Spider-Man memorabilia all over the place. So these two kids come in with their parents, and I was like, I'm going to show you guys the best scene ever made for Marvel. And I put on Infinity War 1, the scene where Doctor Strange meets Iron Man for the first time, and then they go out to fight Squidward. Like, I think that is the best scene in Marvel history out of all. Like, it embodies everything. It's hilarious. Hulk, it shows vulnerability because Hulk don't want to be Hulk. Hulk basically can't get it up. Spider-Man jumps off of a boat. Jumps off of a bus. Ned, I need you to distract everybody. Oh my God, we're gonna die! We're all gonna die! You know what I'm saying? And then, it's just so
Stan
perfect.
Lee driving the bus.
Stan Lee, right? One of his last cameos.
Yeah.
So what I realized in that, which I had realized before, but it didn't really sink in, was that the villains, all of the villains in the whole Infinity War saga were 100% CGI. All of the villains, except Loki, if you consider Loki, Thanos, and all of his characters, everybody that was on Thanos' side, 100%. And we didn't even really notice it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we knew it. We knew Thanos was a cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We knew that his boy, we knew it, but it didn't come across like it was, which I thought was one of the reasons why we love it. Like, here's some folks that we don't even know who play their characters, but all the while they're actually not even real people. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we
there's a lot of life
with the villains. I don't know. I just thought that was something worth noting. And
I think it's something that's under celebrated. Like these villains who, just kind of show up, and unless you're somebody who's like really into that, Thanos and the children of Thanos and stuff like that, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but like I know the backstories exist, but like they just shove these characters at you and they're like, hey, these guys are cool, right? And we're just like, yeah, they absolutely are. And it was fun to watch them. It was fun to watch them fight against Iron Man and Doctor Strange in the street, and Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. That was crazy that their powers seemed almost unbeatable in that moment. Right. Like, here they are facing off with Earth's mightiest and holding their own. And it was, we don't celebrate those guys enough. I agree with you there.
In terms of villains, they definitely take the cake, man. Now, we were talking earlier about some of Marvel's villains, and one of which has, kind of come to the big screen, to the little screen a little bit. This guy, MODOK. I don't know if y'all have had an opportunity to watch his show. It's basically a robot chicken skit that has been stretched all the way through 30 minutes of an episode. Now, I honestly like it. The concept of it, the writing I'm gonna give it some more of a chance, but it's a little cringeworthy in some instances. So I'm not gonna outright recommend it at this moment. But I'll say, as a Marvel show, I'm obligated to watch it, just for the references, if anything. And that's one of the cool things it does, is it kind of makes light of the Marvel. Like, his nemesis is Iron Man, and like, it's basically, he's like Gargamel, and and the Smurfs are the Avengers, and he's God, but he has a home life. It's centered around like his wife. I will spoil a little bit. I'll just do it because I don't get a feeling you're gonna watch this anyway. The wife, after the first episode, wants a divorce, and and so he's got to like deal with like a whole factory of workers that are trying to like destroy the Avengers, and then he goes up a tunnel, and then he ends up at home with a wife that's basically trying to divorce him, but they still live in the same house, and there's a child, and it's the whole dichotomy of being a super villain and still having a household life that I think makes a good concept in the Marvel superhero construct.
Yeah. All that
I think the writing could be a little better.
I thought we saw that concept already.
Oh,
are you talking about with WandaVision?
With WandaVision?
No, the what is it? It's the animated cartoon with the little yellow guys, the little
minions.
The minions.
Oh yeah.
The super villain.
Yellow guys.
3 kids. Now I got kids, and I got
Despicable Me.
Yep, there it is. Despicable Me.
Yeah,
I love those movies. Those movies.
I did too, but
I like Despicable Me. I like those movies. I think that's pretty cool. but we were speaking earlier about. Just want to get these out the way. This might be our shortest show if we even make it all the way to 2 o'clock. To 2 hours. But the earlier we were talking a little bit about Yaz's favorite concept, zombies. And I know she loves zombies more than anything else. And which just brings me segue wise to something I'm extremely excited about. Just to kind of turn the page and talk about some stuff we don't typically talk about. What we should. My favorite game is coming back out.
Oh yeah.
My favorite game is coming back out. This is literally my favorite game. Period. End. Hard stop. I am a Resident Evil fanatic. It is my favorite FPS. Point blank. Period. Since it was on regular PlayStation, and we met Chris and Claire and Jill and back before it was even an FPS, when it was basically
RPG.
an angle. It was a POV show. Like you had a game. You had to play it based on like security camera. So like you could be running straight, and then like it'll go to another scene, and you had to keep running straight. But it's from the back now. And
is there anything more iconic than the sound of the footsteps in the first Resident Evil game? Like
God.
it's an iconic sound that will never ever leave my brain.
Yo, look. The sound of the footsteps, the how loud they make you walk in an area you're supposed to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Just the embodiment it was the first time I actually literally felt like I was walking through a legit, not even haunted, because these aren't ghosts, right? Right. This is a freaking real house. And the brilliance of having the same layout, if you're doing a video game construct, to have one mansion. You know, that just you this door's locked, go get this and go get this. And now, oh man.
We hear you. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Am I here? Am I back?
Yeah,
I had a hiccup.
You're good.
Okay, my bad. It's like my internet sneezed just now. But like to all of these puzzles, the cerebral aspect of Resident Evil is not lost by any means. I even got mad at I'm in the process of replaying Resident Evil 2, the walkthrough, the remake. I don't know if y'all played Resident Evil 2, where it was first a POV, then it turned to an FPS. And now you can replay the Resident Evil 2 as an FPS that was originally POV.
Oh wow, okay.
And it's dope, but it's infuriating, because the one thing I hate the most about Resident Evil, the games, is the tyrant not being able. You can't destroy the tyrant. Now, Yaz, I don't know if you ever played Resident Evil or not? No.
I mean, I've played it like in the arcade, but I mean, not in my house.
Oh, okay, you played like the shooting at the screen kind of ones, right? Okay, yeah. The actual console.
You gotta remember, games. I don't do zombies, so you know when you get Call of Duty and you play and everything, and everyone's like all excited. Let's not play zombies. I'm like, dude, you lost me. I'm out.
This is like we're gonna have to explore. This is a real fear of Yaz's, and I'm intrigued and fascinated by it.
You know how like in Harry Potter, you know that door that like shows your biggest fear? It'd be a fucking zombie.
That's crazy, man.
A spider, wouldn't be a fucking, you know, like a frog or a lizard or something stupid like that. You know, I catch those things, you know, like it'd be a fucking zombie.
Mine would be Omega from Bad Batch.
Well, I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm all about Resident Evil, man. There's nothing better.
Yes.
I honestly don't think that there's any game. Now I know Call of Duty does the zombies, and I know there's a lot of games that do zombies now, and I like that because I do get a little weirded out, and this is a personal thing of mine. For shooting people, I like games where you shoot monsters. I don't know. It's an internal struggle that I have with shooting actual people. Like Modern Warfare is cool, but I don't know, for some reason it messes with my psyche. So to be able to shoot the zombies works for me. But the thing that Resident Evil does better than I would say any game, at least that I'm familiar with, is it literally immerses you in the game to the point where you're like,
no, I'm good.
Like you're freaked out. Like you're like, And don't play like I do, like in surround sound, Dolby Theater. You know what I'm saying? In full pitch black dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just I love it. I'm here for the whole thing. So I'm geeked up that Resident Evil is coming back out, and I think it's already out, right, Tyrone?
Well, I think it might have just dropped. Let me see.
Yeah, they had the demo recently. I tried playing that demo, and it was hard and it was scary. I was like, this is actually scary. I don't know if I can play this tonight. I might have to wait until the morning on this one. Like, it was the sound, the way they have things set up, like the enemies you encounter stuff. I was like, man, this is like that is going to be a fun one. This one's going to be in my dreams for a little while.
Yeah, like that's it. Yeah, look, yeah, like this is exactly what it's like. This is what it's like. Like you walk through all these areas, and then shit just like jumps out and starts biting on you and shit. And now I don't know how familiar you are. Like this is like you literally have to go down and find all this stuff, yo. And yo, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's nothing to play with.
Remember that Doom?
Yeah, Doom was amazing.
Doom was good. Doom was good.
So when I was like maybe like I'll say 10 years old when that game came out. Okay. And my dad, I remember my dad bought me that game because he was like, oh, Yaz loves fighting, shooting games, stuff like that. You know, like I'm gonna buy her this game. Well, my dumb ass played that game at nighttime. Let me fucking tell you, that's probably why I don't play games at night anymore. I refuse because no lie, I was waiting for one of them fucking monsters to just like come out of my closet and try to like eat my ass. Like, no way.
Oh wow. Was that the Xbox 360 version?
Yes, I was just about to say
I remember that game. Yeah.
Xbox 360, throwback. Oh my god, 1990.
Yeah. That was also a really scary game. They had some great jump scares in that game.
Yes,
like you'd be walking by a dead body thinking that everything is cool and that thing would jump at you. And yeah, I remember that. I can see why that would be scary. I don't remember there being a lot of ass eating in the game, but like, but it was scary.
Yeah, it was definitely. That's why I don't play games at night, especially with no fucking surround sound, because my room literally like I had like computer speakers like for your car. You know what I'm saying? Hooked up to my computer, and like the surround sound and everything was just like literally like movie theater wise in my small bedroom. So I just remember like screaming and like just shutting it off and running out of my room, and like I wasn't going back in there.
So awesome.
Hilarious. Yeah. Well, you definitely can't play this game, Yaz, because it is all like it's all jump. Now I don't know, because Resident Evil has phases. It has different, like the first one. The very first one on regular PlayStation was I think groundbreaking in that it was a POV game that had multiple angles. Like it's like playing a game but through the security camera footage. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird like that. Then part 2, it did the same thing. But then on part 3, it switched it up and it became a first-person shooter, right?
Right.
And so you could play with Chris or Claire or one of and you actually had these different options. Resident Evil 4, that's what me and Ty, before he got his brain somehow doesn't allow him to play FPS anymore because he gets headaches when the world's too big. Yeah, Tyrone, I'm surprised he plays Avengers with you because he'd be like, yo, I was trying to play, but yo, I got a headache. I got a bad headache. We used to play Gears of War, and he stopped playing. He just stopped playing.
That's how good Avengers is. Number one, Avengers is an amazing game, but also Dramamine might be something that you could experiment with, because that's the if you don't know what that's the motion sickness. Like, so if people are about to go on boats or whatever, they'll take Dramamine. Supposedly, it works really, really well and is easily acquired. So maybe give it a try. Might say
from the game. That's kind of interesting. I think that's probably why my mom, every time I play Star Wars, like, you know, and I'm in the cockpit of like one of the ships, they're like, yeah, I can't fucking watch you because it's gonna make me throw the fuck up.
Yeah,
I'll be like,
motion sickness is real. Yeah.
It like that 360, like, and one of the reasons I'm able to play Avengers is because even though it's a broad world and the screen does move, like the sensitivity of the screen is different. So like the area is so vast that you don't necessarily need to rotate the whole screen in order to move. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's so vast. But like with Gears of War, like as soon as you go to moving left or right, the whole screen moves with you and everything like that, which that's I think what caused me to have those headaches like more dramatically when I was playing those as opposed to Avengers. But Avengers will get me if I play too long. You know, like if I play too long, then I'll start getting the same headaches. You know, so.
Well,
yeah.
I think Avengers is one type of play, but with Resident Evil, oh shoot, I didn't switch my background. Hopefully this doesn't mess your mom up. Yeah, she doesn't like it when she sees the Star Wars stuff. My bad.
Is this new Resident Evil Village game co-op?
I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't. The only co-op game I remember with us was part 4. I think they even. I don't even know if they did it again for part 5. But I would like it to be. But if they're following the trend lines of Resident Evil 7, it won't be, because Resident Evil 7 was like it went back to Resident Evil 1, where it was just one person you're allowed to play. It was one storyline. There weren't even 2 characters. At least in part 1, at least in Resident Evil 1, you played the game with Chris, you beat it, and then you play it again with Jill. You know what I'm saying? With Resident Evil 7, you beat it, and that's it. I mean, they do give you like a different. It's pretty freaky how they did 7. It went back to its scary part, because I think that it started to get a little too Gears of War, a little too Call of Duty. Some would say, but I still loved it. I love it when Chris has these guns that are like the grenade launchers and the rocket launchers, and I love those. I even like being able to slash with the knives. I love beating the game and having unlimited rocket launchers, rockets for the rocket launchers. So I hope that this game delivers as it used to. I ain't gonna lie, 7 was dope, but after I beat it, I was like, all right, you know, what's so funny, man? You talking about just because Phil doesn't like.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the text I just got. We're just gonna disclaimer. Let that one go. I'm not laughing at the comment.
Vince, this one is multiplayer. I don't know.
It is.
It says multiplayer, so I don't know.
Oh, so all right. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, maybe if you take some of that, what's that?
Dramamine.
I don't take. I'm
so mad that you can't play that, man.
No, Dramamine's a really mild medication. You should look it up. It's nothing crazy. Like it's nothing like.
I just don't even do it. I just don't even put it in my body. Like, whether it's mild or any of that, like it doesn't matter. The only time I'm gonna put some in my body is if I'm like dying and I have to have it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, like literally, I try to stay away from pills, whether they're mild or not, because they do cause a chemical imbalance in your body, regardless of whatever it is.
All right.
Okay. I mean,
we're gonna leave that one alone.
I enjoyed the benefits of Western medicine, but I understand, you know, the implication there.
Yo, Tyrone is up in here waxed and vaxxed and ready to go out and do everything that we used to couldn't do. So yeah, man, go ahead and continue being that good old sacrificial lamb for us, homeboy. We love it.
It's all good, and plus, like the tail that I grew is really useful. So, you know, that's all. If y'all don't want a tail, that's your thing.
I'm just asking because you know I've been hearing a lot of stories about this. So on your injection site, can you like pull the magnet up to it and stick?
I haven't tried it, but
can we get a magnet? Can we see? I mean, I can give it
a try. And if I have magneto powers, I'm gonna be excited. I'm going back to get more vaccine. I just want you to know right now, I'm gonna go steal all the vaccine and I'm gonna take everything over.
So what? You put a magnet up to your injection site?
So you put a magnet. You put a magnet up to the injection site, and it's supposed to stick there, and then that means that you've been chipped.
I'm guessing this is a lot of misinformation that travels through Facebook, but I'm willing to debunk it live on this show.
Let's see if it's actually it works.
Yeah, I'll get a magnet. The only thing is my injection site was my butt, so that we're gonna have to. I'm just kidding. It wasn't. I'm gonna come back with a magnet. I'll be right back. You can hear.
I don't want to see the butt to the magnet, though. That's all I'm saying. Oh, take that curly hair.
Oh man! Oh hell no!
That's
So,
shrapnel he took from like 1947 or some shit, like from a war he was in or some shit. Tyrone didn't tell us that he had shrapnel in his ass.
All right, so I have here a magnet from when I went to visit the Muir Woods in San Francisco, which for all you nerds is where they filmed the Endor scenes in Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
So,
Hey, you got something metal before so we can see that it's still magnetized? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we don't
how
want
do we know,
we don't want to fall for the old magnet.
here, can you see this? Can you see this bar cart right? Yeah, here. Okay, here's my bar cart, and
Oh, nice bar cart.
okay, that's obviously not like steel or whatever. So let me. That's not a nice bar cart. See that? Yeah, that's pure silver.
What about your
let me
microphone?
see.
Your mic. Do your mic.
I'm not gonna mess up my microphone with this magnet.
What about the doorknob, yo?
The doorknob, yeah.
That's not.
So nothing.
Okay, here I got here we go. I got this. This is the mic stand. I'll see if I can.
All right.
There we go. It's stuck to the mic stand.
Okay,
See,
all right,
it's a magnet.
All right.
Proof. The proof. It's a magnet. All right. So here's
All right.
here's my injection site. I'll roll up my sleeve.
All right. Okay.
Everyone
Yeah,
see it.
there's my injection site right around here.
Put the guns away. Nah, man. Nah, bro. Yeah, hey, do it right. Oh, shit.
That's good.
Your arm, bro.
That wasn't magnetism. That was because I was clammy. But hold on, I gotta get my magnet again. I gotta get my magnet again.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man.
Because hold on.
No, that was nuts. That
Yo,
shit
as soon as
was
you
nuts
did
for a
that,
minute.
As soon as you
Y'all
did that, bro,
saw
I
it.
got a notification
Y'all saw
that
it.
you just shared your location with my iPhone. Evidently, you are somewhere in Moncrief on Block 72 in Duval County, Florida. Is that correct? Because you just pinged on my Google Maps.
Okay, it fell off. All right, so here's the telling experiment, and I'll do my non-injection arm.
The mic's in the way.
Mike's in the way, yeah.
There we go. All right,
Yeah,
non-injection.
Wow,
arm.
your arms don't get a lot of sun, do they, Tyrone?
Shut up.
He's even.
Let me conduct my experiments here, please. All right, there we go.
Look at this real big.
Yo! Okay, all right, fine, fine.
Maybe it's just your skin.
Why don't you
It's-
just why?
It's
I thought they only shot up in the COVID vaccine in the right arm.
no, you can choose which arm.
What if your whole body is now magnetized and you can put it anywhere and it'll stick anywhere?
What if it sticks to your dick?
I just tried my head.
He says
It
she
didn't
wants
work.
to see you put it on your
I don't
asshole.
want to see it. No. I did not
That's
say I
y'all
wanted
gonna have to
I
subscribe to the
just-
OnlyFans for that one. But
Yeah,
this-
that's the Patreon right there, man.
there we go.
Patreon.
Oh wow, yo! So it
See what I
turns out
mean?
your Tyrone moonlights as Colossus from the X-Men.
No, it's just this. I mean, I'm a clammy person naturally. I sweat excellence constantly, so it's often very sticky. So
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
yeah, the
I'm
vaccine does
gonna
not
take
give you magnet powers.
I think that experiment went well, and I think we have learned that he is definitely going to, at some point in time, have his mutant puberty, stage. And when
The
he
next
comes out
one-
the other end, hopefully he's more Tony Stark, less Homelander.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I'm so like if you don't understand how excited I would be if I got powers because I took this vaccine. I don't think that would be a reason to not take it. That's the reason to take more and more vaccine. More of us need powers, especially people of colors. Go ahead and get your powers. Get your whichever way you choose to do it. Get your powers and let's do this thing. We can beat racism with superpowers.
Yeah, my superpower is my credit score, and I just want to use it to get myself approved for some loans. I wonder though, what if your superpowers came with a sacrifice? Like, what if you could fly and you were impenetrable, but you were impotent? You know what I'm saying? For like what if you were able to read minds, but you could no longer read. You know what I'm saying? Like actual stuff. I don't know, but I think that's probably.
How about you can read minds, but you can only read women's minds?
That's
right.
Villain.
Something like that. Like Yaz would probably be very happy if she could read male minds, but your mind would go on overload on Saturday mornings because
Yaz's speaker is like, men aren't that hard to figure out. She is like, I can probably read your minds right now without even. Yaz knows what you know what's up. Like that's not.
I'm very fine tuned with the male anatomy, okay, and how you guys just are with your calm down, I see your face, guy. I mean, like with your characteristics, not the actual anatomy, but anatomy and all. Okay?
Not the actual.
Get your mind out of the fucking gutter, to nasty ass. Okay. Yeah.
You should have known that's what we were thinking anyway.
Yeah, if you really are in tune, and you know not to say that shit.
Look who doesn't have mind reading powers.
That was the whole point. I knew I was going to get a reaction.
Speaking of reactions, you definitely grinded my gears again this week when you brought up this dumbass concept that I just don't understand why you are obsessed with the notion of Tom Hardy being Wolverine. Why
are you so against that shit?
Because he cannot be in two places at one time. He cannot.
How is he going to be in two places at one time? If they're both shooting in different time periods and both airing at different time periods, he's not being in two places at one time. Just like Ryan Reynolds was playing fucking Green Lantern and fucking Deadpool at the same time. It's you know what I'm saying?
Well,
but that's not true.
I will say this. As I do agree with you, Vince. I don't want to see Tom Hardy as Wolverine, but I do also agree with you, Yaz, that we just got an inception into the multiverse. So at this point, you can do whatever you want. They're bringing back Michael Keaton and Batman. Right. They're bringing back Tobey Maguire and all of these.
Right.
So at this point, you literally have no control over who goes where and what. You can have people everywhere if you want. Like if that's what you want to do. Like that's kind of what they've allowed themselves to manipulate the worlds and the universes and combine them and unify them and whatever. So
yeah, but the problem is like Yaz keeps using this example of a Green Lantern and of Deadpool being in the Blade trilogy, but none of those things happened at once, right? Like the DC, first of all, Green Lantern is a DC character. And that happened way before Deadpool, almost to the point where in the Deadpool movie, at the end, if you watch the post-credit scene, he actually goes back and restores the timeline and murders murders the Green Lantern and his original Deadpool version from the Wolverine origin story. Yep. So they couldn't have been happening at the same time because he wouldn't have been able to make a scene based on those characters if it happened at the same time. Number one. Number two, if this was listen, I just want to say for the record that I do support Tom Hardy's image being a plausible selection to replace Wolverine. But unfortunately, in this case, he's already not just playing Venom, but tackling the Venom franchise in that if you watch the credits, he's like a producer of Venom. Like he's not just some guy that they picked. Like he's taken the series and he's latched himself to it. It's him that has
control.
What's it called? Final cut capability, so he gets to actually help with the casting, help with the selection of the people that direct the film. He's not just tackling it. Now I see Marvel in the comments. Phil, our good friend, is saying that they did it with Thanos and Cable, but let's remember Thanos was a voice. You didn't see Thanos played by Josh Brolin. You saw Cable played by Josh Brolin. You saw Thanos's voice being voiced over by Josh Brolin. If they were, and you kind of see his face a little bit in Thanos, you know, he kind of has, you know, that whole rectangular face thing.
But also, like Cable, like the Deadpool movies are not MCU. There hasn't been an MCU Deadpool movie yet. Also, Venom is not MCU. It like so to that point, Tom Hardy could be used in MCU because he doesn't have an MCU character at the moment. So that's not the obstacle there. I think the obstacle, if anything, would just be his age. I think they're probably going to want to go with somebody younger so they could stretch it out a while.
Listen, they can't go with Zac Efron. That's all I'm saying. I'll fucking die. I have nothing against Zac Efron. I think he's a great actor, and I like his whole little like series, thing where he's like trying to help the world and stuff like that, and gets more conscious and shit. Like if he becomes fucking Wolverine, I swear to God, I'm probably gonna have to stop watching fucking X-Men because like,
come on,
that's all right, gonna be that bad.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. I'm not for a Zac Efron Wolverine. Sorry, Tracy Wu. We appreciate the comments, but no. I am, however, for the Sue Storm and the Reed Richards being cast as Blunt, Emily Blunt, and
John Krasinski
from The Office, or from Jack Ryan. If you watch that show, I don't know if you saw the pictures. I posted some of the pictures in the group, but they would be the perfect Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, in my opinion. Now they have since said no, we're not interested in it at all, nor has anybody even approached us about it. And it's just a bunch of fan fiction that we're being cast as these folks. But I think that they would be, I honestly, like, now that image is in my head, I can't unsee it. Have y'all seen it? Yes. Did you see Sue Storm?
I've seen it.
And what
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you. I mean, the both of them would be really good casts. Like, they would be really good characters to cast as those two, characters. But the only thing is, like you said, they have no interest and they have not been approached. So you know what I'm saying? Those lines alone are just kind of like big X's. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I don't know if they would even be up to par with that. That's probably why, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different depth than what we're used to seeing of them. So maybe that's why that, they came out with that statement, because they honestly don't want to be approached. They just did it for the fan fiction and for, the thought of it. Like they would be, but my concern is, like, could they keep up with it? Like, it already got bombed twice. So do you want to be in something that you already know has been bombed and you have to be the person that has to pick that up? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Emily Blunt and, John Krasinski really want to put their names on that, because they have been in things. She's fucking Mary Poppins. He's in The Office. You know what I'm saying? They have been great in what they have portrayed to us recently. Why would they go for something that's tanking to try and build it back up? That's just what I'm getting at.
I'm offended.
I got a question. Like, why is it that is everybody against the guy who played Reed Richards in the original Fantastic Four? Like, why is there's a problem with his name's Ion Gruffudd? But he's the guy that played in the original Fantastic Four as Reed Richards, and I actually liked him as Reed Richards. So I did like why nobody is and looking at a picture of him right now, he could play Reed Richards right now. He doesn't look that old.
Yep. Well, Tyrone, what do you think?
Personally, like I didn't dislike him. I think that I think Marvel could do better. But I don't dislike him. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're going to go back and pick up that actor. I think what you'll probably find is they'll pick somebody who's not like a superstar, but somebody who's like relatively unknown, who's maybe they have some shows under their belt, probably some British actor, that we haven't seen in America quite yet. And they're going to start it with probably like somebody in their maybe lower to mid 30s, I would imagine. And so they can kind of stretch that out. Even though I know Reed Richards is a little bit older, he's got the gray and stuff like that, which I'm sure they'll be, they'll be respectful of the Reed Richards look. I don't think that they're going to go that old with him. I don't think they're going to go into like his 50s.
I don't think he's that old though. Like I'm looking at Chris Evans and when they made this movie and how Chris Evans looks now, and again, I've seen him recently. He doesn't look that old. Like he does. Like if you like, especially with the fact that you're already going to add the gray hair to his head anyway with the Reed Richards look. So like that idea that he looks like he's probably like right now his early 40s. I would say his early 40s, early to mid 40s. Like not like which means
40. He'd be 47 or 48.
But that's the thing though. You guys got to understand also that when they did the remake, they did the younger Reed Richards. They did the younger Sue. You know what I'm saying? Like they made him a kid.
And that movie was garbage.
Okay, now I take issue with that.
It was better. It was better. Okay, I rewatched it recently and it was better than the original, definitely. Like with, no offense to Jessica Alba or anything like that, but it was definitely better than the original. And like the story and stuff like that and how they got their powers, it kind of went into a little bit more depth. So I did like that about the whole, like Fantastic Four thing. But the only problem is like storyline. Where the fuck are they gonna pick this up? Because like I said, they started with the older Reed Richards, and then they gave us a younger Reed Richards. So like, is it gonna be in the middle, or is he gonna be like in retirement at this point? Like that's where I'm kind of like, where are they gonna? What timeline are we gonna see of Reed Richards this time?
Well, they're not bound by anything that's happened in the past. Like whatever timeline, it will not be affected by anything in the past. It'll most likely be the most comic faithful representation of the Fantastic Four that we've seen to this point. And I would imagine it would be, I imagine it's going to be in the same timeline that we're in, a post snap, post blip world where, the Avengers are, without Tony Stark and Captain America and that kind of thing. And it'll, come through down the line. I would imagine it's going to pick up kind of there. And, I think Reed Richards would probably end up being sort of a replacement Tony Stark. He's got he has the smarts and the budget, and he was most of the time he was considered to be smarter and than Tony Stark, and to have a more of a grasp on all things cosmic and all that other kind of stuff. So I think they can use him in that capacity.
Well, if that's your line of reasoning, why would not a 40-year-old Reed Richards make sense?
I think that's a fair question. It might, it could, and if they go that way, then that's a fair rebuttal to my point. And we could see them go a little bit older. I personally hope they don't go with that actor. Like, not that he was bad, I just don't think that he's like MCU good.
Well, I would actually attest to that. I mean, not necessarily attest to that, but I would rebuttal that with this. That movie, when they did that, was what, in 2005? So it is now 22. This dude has done countless stuff since then and is actually a pretty good actor. I've seen him in what was it? He played a resident doctor on
that doctor show that he's in.
Harrow.
The problem is good. The problem with bringing him back, though, Ty, is then you bring up the original cast without having the entire original cast. So now, if you got the original Dr. Reed Richards, then you're like, okay, well, will we get Chris Evans back as Johnny Storm, or do we still mess with old boy from the commish as
Michael
thing?
Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis.
Well, Ben, we didn't do that when they pulled out Chris Evans. When they pulled out Chris Evans, we didn't say, oh, well, you pulled out Chris Evans, then you pull out somebody else from that movie. So my thing is, you don't necessarily have to bring back everybody. But if what Tyrone is saying is that Reed Richards could fill in as the new Tony Stark, and you bring back this character, you have this multiverse to, even if you don't want to necessarily bring them all back for an ongoing series, you could bring them, you could like touch on them in like a multiverse type situation where you go back and they whoever the villain is kills the rest of them or something like that, or destroys them, or whatever the case may be, however you transition it. But you could transition it however you want to transition it. I'm just saying, as far as casting wise and what he looks like on film now as opposed to them, then I think he actually fits the Reed Richards character a lot better than a lot of other people that you would probably bring in to try it for the first time, just because he has experience. That's all I'm saying.
It was just like I don't know when that Reed Richards, even at the time for me, was just so corny. Like it was a really corny Reed Richards, and frankly a corny version of the Fantastic Four.
It was meant to be
corny.
I think it was meant to be corny like that,
and that was a mistake. I think.
Yeah, well, you're right. No, you're right. Because one of the things about the 15 version that me and Vince pointed out is that the Doctor Doom character, that the way that they accelerated that character and gave him real plausibility is like, that's what we missed from the first one. Like the first one was like you know what I mean? But this Toby Kebbell was the guy who played Doctor Doom.
I like the actor. Yeah.
We saw something totally different, man, and it was like, this is what you lacked was the seriousness of a Doctor Doom. Yep. Like, we thought he was jokey in the Fantastic Four. But that whole movie was intended to be like that, because I remember it was PG-13.
Yep.
Yeah, PG-13, and it was meant to be kid friendly.
So, listen.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, excuse me. Fantastic Four, the original, with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, did what it was supposed to do. All right. It at the time, we were coming off of movies like Spider-Man, okay, and Spider-Man killed the box office back then. So it made sense for the Fantastic Four model to follow the same formula of Spider-Man. We had yet to have had the rated R Deadpool, the rated R Logan, even the rated R Joker. So it was still in that kiddie play. Let's make something for the family, but it has comic book characters involved. Now, you said, Ty, that it didn't impact when Chris Evans left. It did. It killed the whole franchise. Like, they could not make a Fantastic Four 3 because Chris Evans was now Captain America. Jessica Alba didn't want to be Sue Storm anymore, and it obliterated that cast, which is one of the reasons why they had to reboot the Fantastic Four, which I still, kind of like I have to with The Last Airbender, fight back this notion that it was a trash movie. I literally did not watch it because of the reviews I was reading. And I watched it and I was like, are they watching the same movie? Because this movie is dope as fuck. I did not, don't get me wrong. I can understand how, the Michael B. Jordan and, the changing of the interjection of the race bending can have an impact on your psyche when it comes to watching it. And how the origin story was deterred, how they were on a planet instead of being in the spaceship when they got their powers. I get that. Mm-hmm. But the Doctor Doom in this freaking Fantastic Four was a real ass legit, like, kick your ass and kill you. This motherfucker was exploding people's heads with his mind, walking through the halls. You saw the heads explode. This was not about Victor Von Doom. Like, the first one was Victor Von Doom. All right. In the original Fantastic Four, we met Victor Von Doom, and it was a Victor Von Doom origin story. This one wasn't to an extent, but this was more Doctor Doom. And that's one of the biggest upsets. It is one of the biggest upsets about the unfortunate demise of Chadwick Boseman, because it was reported that the villain in Black Panther 2 was originally set to be Doctor Doom, right? As Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther T'Challa comes over to the United States, Victor Von Doom becomes his enemy, and that's how we're reintroduced to the Fantastic Four. So it kind of sucks that they're going to redo the whole Black Panther 2. It's now Wakanda Forever, and we're probably going to not even have. I'm almost guarantee you that we won't see any T'Challa in the movie until the end. If we do, and if we do see him, it'll be masked T'Challa. No Chadwick Boseman. We'll see T'Challa. And I do support the movement to make Denzel Washington's son the new T'Challa. I do strongly stand behind that. And I do agree with TJ that would be probably the only person, especially given the history between Denzel and Chadwick and him paying for him to go to Howard and all that other stuff, actually did transpire. Now, having said all of that, I don't know how we're going to get back to this Fantastic Four movie, but I do think that we're not going to get a Fantastic Four movie, that we're going to be indirectly introduced to the new Fantastic Four cast. And that's how we're going to get it. But I think Tyrone, it deserves a rewatch, bro, because I'm going to argue. I am going to stand my ground on this. I think Fantastic Four, the reboot, was way better than the critics will give it credit for. Tylene.
I will say this. I'll even go further back to the 05 version. And like you said, I agree with you. It did what it was supposed to do, especially when it was supposed to be kid friendly. There is one thing that I really feel like Marvel I hope that they pick up, and that's the Silver Surfer story.
Yes.
Like the fact that we haven't seen anything since Rise of the Silver Surfer, which introduced, like, I was like, what, yo, as far like that, I think that's one of those movies that doesn't get the credit that it deserves.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they dropped the ball real hard on that one.
Yes, because that whole origin story and the relationship between Silver Surfer and Galactus and all in the Watchers and everything, like to get into all of that and that whole storyline, that to me is the way that you can bring back in the Fantastic Four if you want, if Kevin Feige wants to expound on the Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Well, to a couple points, that I'm pretty sure Marvel has been at least very heavily teasing the fact that there's going to be a Fantastic Four movie. It won't be just like some kind of team up thing or whatever that's going to happen. Like that they keep showing that Fantastic Four logo. They don't have like a name for it or a date for it or anything, but they're teasing it. So there's that. And yeah, I think that movie, I think the second Fantastic Four movie that came out, the one with Silver Surfer, I think they dropped the ball super hard on the character and the storyline, and everything about that movie was terrible. Like they took really, really good story elements and just threw them out the window. And we're just like, hey, we just want this guy flying around, just being a pain in everybody's ass. It was sad. I was sad to see what they did with Silver Surfer. And real quick, to Vince's point on Doctor Doom, the one on that reboot, to me, this Doctor Doom from that first Fantastic Four movie and that Victor Von, that one was bad. And to me, the one from that reboot was worse. His power was actually represented well. Like they got that part right, but everything else about it was just like, it just felt off. Like it didn't feel like Doctor Doom except for his power. Like that, like my thoughts on that movie were not based on like the reviews and stuff. Like I watched that movie going in like, cause at around that time, all the superhero movies were getting bad reviews. You know what I mean? Like nobody was taking them seriously yet. So like I just ignored reviews for superhero movies. And when I watched it, I was like, man, they are butchering this. Like it was just, it was tough to watch. And the Doctor Doom character was just so, for me, so hard to watch.
To his defense, he was like definitely really like bitch leg in that movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? With the whole cast.
Oh shit! Wait a minute, is Doctor Doom about to be Ash's bitch of the week?
In your defense, yes. In your defense, okay. He was like with the whole like his being shy around Sue, and you know what I'm saying? Like he was like scared of her and like whatever that was. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole, you know what I'm saying? Like those scenes, like it was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Especially for him to be such a badass like character. Like I get it. You know what I'm saying? He had to go through, that pain or whatever to feel that rage or whatever. But it was just like it was a little like cliche at that point. So yes, it was very whiny. So I get what he's saying. Like the first time I watched it, that's why I had to rewatch it because I was like, man, I don't remember this movie being that trash. And then like it came on, and I was like, oh wait. This is Fantastic Four. This isn't that bad. I was like, I don't remember any of this shit. So yeah, I mean, I did watch it again, and like it wasn't as bad. And I did like a lot of different things from it. But to touch base, since I have your attention, no lie. Earlier when we were talking about the Spanish guy from Breaking Bad, I literally, when we were talking about him in the MCU, I literally was like thinking that Esteban, that he could be a Silver Surfer, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's got
absolutely no. Oh.
No. What we ain't gonna do is give away Keanu Reeves' part, because we know that would be the perfect Silver Surfer. If you take Keanu Reeves' character from Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure shave his head, and put him on a surfboard. That is Silver Surfer, bro. Make him more of a Zen-like character, like when he sat down and was sitting there meditating in front of Morpheus in the Matrix. Bruh, give me a break, bro. Yeah. Silver Surfer is definitely Reeves.
Yeah, I'm with you with that. When you said Matrix, I was with you, but when you just said Bill and Ted, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Whoa.
No, that is not Kylo Ren.
Didn't we just say he was cheesy? We just said he was cheesy. We're trying to deter from that. We just said that.
Oh my gosh!
Real quick, while we're on the subject of that, though, on Disney Plus, they have like a lot of the old Marvel cartoons and stuff. There is a Silver Surfer cartoon that is like old school, and it's kind of crazy and kind of corny at times, but it's really cool storytelling. It goes really deep into the cosmos in Marvel. Like the story is awesome. So like I highly recommend checking that out on Disney Plus.
I don't think anything corny about that show. It's actually kind of adult.
But also like Pip was like there's some corny things about it, but it was endearing. You know what I mean? It was fun corny. It was good corny.
Yeah, that part. But it was.
It does tell you the whole story.
Yeah,
it does tell you the whole story because it does tell you literally why he became the Silver Surfer, why he's indebted, like not even indebted, but why he has to work for Galactic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it definitely goes into all of that story. And if they're going to do the Silver Surfer, I need you to do that. I don't want you to just pop him out of nowhere and just be like, here you go. No, I need them to delve into the backstory, his planet. You know what I'm saying? Why how he even interacted with Galactus, come to meet Galactus, all of that kind of stuff, man. And then allow the story to build from what it is. Because
I agree.
Loki Silver Surfer is one of the more powerful guys, mutants, and well, not even a mutant, but what is
I guess well he's a guy that got bestowed upon him the powers of the cosmos, basically. Like he's got cosmic level power, but he's also just kind of Galactus's errand boy, really, when it comes down to it. But then he starts to kind of realize who he is and stuff. What's up?
But why is he naked?
Why not, girl?
Why?
and in Silver, he's just naked.
And naked with no genitals at that. Like,
right? Thank you. I was just trying to feel like is he binary?
That's why he's so ornery.
What's his?
I always wondered that.
Hey guys, what's on his Tinder profile? Silver Surfer, he/him/them/us. I don't know. I
he has reproductive.
But do you see the comment? Your boy Phil is recommending your boy Aldous Hodge, bro, for Silver Surfer. I know that's your boy, Ty. You love you some Aldous Hodge.
Who is Aldous Hodge?
I feel like he could do it. Like he's the guy who played Jim Brown in
Aldous Hodge, bro. That's your boy.
I didn't know his name. I mean, but
you used to quote him to me like, "Yo, Aldous Hodge."
He's a good actor. I feel like he's a good actor. Would I want to see him as Silver Surfer? Maybe not. I don't know, man. But again, whoever they use, I just want them to do the entire storyline.
I hope they Paul Bettany. He plays a good dead man.
Wow.
Oh, there you go again. So you want to use Vision?
And Yaz is trying to turn the MCU into a Nutty Professor movie and just have one person playing everybody. We just gonna have Eddie Murphy playing Sue Storm and Johnny Storm and Dr. Reed, and Eddie Murphy's gonna be everybody.
Hold on a second. Technically, Vision is fucking dead. Okay, we have West Coast Vision. We have a form of Vision. It's not actually Vision.
You're right. You're right.
It's a fucking a Cybot thing. Do we even know what the fuck he really even is?
Well, yeah, technically. Well, let's be clear.
That's right. That's Vision. Right. Give me my props. Thank you.
He is Vision.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No. I want to be very clear about this. He is Vision.
Yes.
Because Vision downloaded his
consciousness and mind and memories.
And Vision was never a thing. He was inorganic. Mm-hmm. So you basically are taking his consciousness and putting it into another inorganic life form. So,
but like he was saying to himself, is
What's
he
up,
still
Rico?
Vision at that point?
huh?
Like he was saying to himself, like with about the ship of Theseus, is he still Vision at that point?
No, he became Vision after he touched his head and downloaded his consciousness into his head. Then there was no need for the Vision. That's why
he's technically a Vision copy, right? I mean, he's not really.
No, there's no such thing as a Vision copy. Vision is consciousness. He is a computer AI. So basically, whatever you put him into is Vision. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still Vision. Like, he's conscious. He was never a life. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he couldn't die because unless you erased his programming. You get what I'm saying? He was a program.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It's more than that.
It's like saying that all the clones are really Jango Fett, right? Like we just got done watching
Jango Fett was organic life. He was a life form. Vision never came from a life form. He was created by Tony Stark as an AI unit, and then was embedded with the stone.
Yeah, but okay, but all right. So basically,
but he was a carbon-based body
Ultron is Vision. Go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You say yes.
I'm sorry. He was a carbon-based body that they created and put the Mind Stone into, and then it took Jarvis and Ultron, that form when they meshed together. When Ultron took Jarvis, it was that made Vision. That's how he is Vision. So that's what I'm saying. Like, remember the whole conversation that they had with each other with the ship of Theseus. Even if you take the ship apart and refurbish it, is it still the same ship? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, let me stop you, Yaz. You said Jarvis and Ultron, which are both robots.
Neither one of them is a robot.
Well, that's
it's
what I'm
AI. It's artificial technology.
Organic life forms. You were comparing Jango Fett, who was a real human being at one point, or whatever he was.
Technically, it's organic because fucking Jarvis was in everything. He moved
Jarvis
shit and all kinds of
AI.
stuff.
There was nothing organic about an AI. It's artificial intelligence. The same thing with Ultron, which was a robotic form of artificial intelligence made into a robotic form.
I want to jump in. I want to jump in just to give a little bit more detail, because there are organic elements to Vision because of the tissue replication technology that they used in Avengers: Age of Ultron, the same stuff they used to patch up Clint when he got shot. They basically remade him skin and stuff there are some biological or organic elements to Vision in the MCU, and that's.
But
they made his body and put all that into that body.
Right. Well,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I think what Bad Ty is trying to say is that, Vision is less of a
person and more
of a personality and more of a program, right?
It's a philosophical argument. It's like, are we our bodies, or are we our consciousness? Like, I think that's the philosophical.
But that was my question though. That was my question though. Is that really Vision though then? Because like that conversation he had with himself, like, I am Vision and I am Vision, but they're different forms of Vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really the actual true Vision though? Do we still have the true Vision still left? That's all I'm saying. He did put part of his consciousness into him, yes. But remember, he was created from the fucking the damn what the hell the Tesseract.
Well, he didn't put his consciousness into that Vision. What he did was he kind of unlocked what they had suppressed when they made that version, like that replacement version of him. Like, they suppressed his memories and all that other stuff. So all he would have is his directive. And then the Wanda Vision, the one that she made, was like, here's all the stuff that you've been missing out on. Yeah.
Download it. I'm just gonna download it to your computer base. Like, that's it, man. Like, I know we want to make Vision a real person because we fell in love with him on screen, but he really is just an AI, a very super intelligent AI system. That can be transferred from one body to the next. If it's just a download. So, like, is this real Vision? Yes. And if we want to take it even further, when Wanda created the version of Vision that you guys are talking about, she created an organic version of Vision at that point. Like she literally created him from scratch.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But but what also she downloaded was the processing core that she took from when she went to I guess the place to get his processor, his whatever backs up all of his memories and everything like that. And I guess uploaded that along with what she remembered of him. So he had all of that stuff that was suppressed, those memories that were coming back. Those were from the core processor. That wasn't from her, because that, like, if it was from her, then he would have had those thoughts already. But he was able to unlock them as stuff went on and things didn't seem the right way and everything like that. His I guess neural functions started as the computer started to alert him that something was going on.
Well, I mean, either way, I don't think it, like I said, it's the story of the clones from Invincible, right? They're always arguing who's first, but they're both clones, you know. So when you say like, oh, Vision is just, you know, it's like, you remember all the Iron Man bots from Iron Man 3 when he had to go up against the Mandarin? It's like they're not all Iron Man. You know, there's one original Iron Man and then there's duplicates. And I think that what's happening because of the fact that Hayward and those folks up at Sword, they took some elements out of the original Vision. They put them together out of his parts. That's a different construct of Vision that did not have the memories that this fictitious Vision that was made up out of Wanda's, you know, matter making skills was able to transfer into him. So yeah, we have a new Vision now, but the same Vision we have now isn't the same one that used to talk to Tony Stark when he was building the Iron Man suit, right? Like this is an involved version of Jarvis that is that has become Vision, which is what Wanda fell in love with. Wanda couldn't have fallen in love with the same Vision that Hayward built, right? Even though they're the same computer program, right? So the Vision that we know is the original Vision. And even though you can take the program and put them into another Vision bot, the Vision we're talking about when we talk about OG Vision, I think is the Vision from the Avengers, right? The one that, you know, had him taken out. So I think that's what the point that they're trying to make, Ty. Although I do see your point.
Yeah, because my rebuttal would be, if I took all of your conscious thoughts, everything that made you Vince Taylor, and put it in another body, are you not still Vince Taylor?
I am, but the new body is a copy.
Well, here's the thing. What you're arguing is not something that can be definitively answered. Like these are philosophical questions, and it's based on what is life, you know, what is consciousness and sentience and that kind of stuff. So we could argue, and it's always fun to argue like the theories back and forth, but we'll never reach an answer because we just don't know yet. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like we're all coming from these different angles, because it's all just theoretical.
It's like that one. What's that show that there's a bunch of shows that embody this concept, but there's a show that I think came out this year that they're basically challenging the notion of real, right? They're like, are you real? And you're like, well, I mean, what's real? You know, I mean, right. I can think, I can talk. Westworld. Yep. Just completely obliterates that whole notion. They're like, look, if being real means that I can walk and I can talk and I have thoughts, then what's really, I mean, that was like one of the opening statements that old girl from Westworld said. She's like, is it touching my ass that makes me real? Is it that I have the ability to have sex? Is that what makes me upload me? Also a show that you mentioned earlier, Altered Carbon, that whole show was about that. That literally was about downloading putting your consciousness on a chip. And if you ever break that chip, that would be your physical death. Then you die. Right. But basically, that's how I live on, is my consciousness is downloaded to this chip that I can put into any body that I want to put into. And it's me in here, where with all of my memories, all of my thoughts, all of my, desires or whatever it is, but it's still me. And that's all I'm saying with Vision, because the difference that in a lot of what y'all are saying is we're talking about a life form, an actual life form who breathes, and eats and does all of that.
as opposed to a non-life form. Like this, Vision was never a life form until they put the consciousness of Jarvis. He was just an inanimate object. When they put the consciousness of Jarvis and Ultron, and then put the stone in it, the Mind Stone, which powered it up and gave it life. Before that, it was not. It was just a body,
empty shell, essentially.
Yeah, an empty shell. So that's what I'm saying. When y'all think of Vision, don't think of Vision in the sense of the body. Think of Vision as the sense of consciousness, transfer from one organism to the next. And that's what he did with the White Vision. So guess what? White Vision is Vision. He is.
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's it. Like
I agree with you.
He downloaded the consciousness. That's what.
But the problem, the reason I have an issue with that is because there was not just Vision. This wasn't an empty shell that he was put into. He came with a directive from Sword.
That's programmed.
Right. But he now has that programming intermingled, having an entanglement, if you will, with the programming from Vision. So it's not the same Vision that fought alongside Black Panther in Wakanda against Thanos. This is a Vision that is corrupt. Put it like there's like a virus in this Vision that he has to have.
Well, again, and this is we're back to the argument of what is life and what is consciousness, and whether you can have like two of the same conscious beings occupying the same space and that kind of stuff. So that thread is one that will never end. I agree with Ty that Vision is Vision, like he is Vision, and that's where we left it or whatever. I think. I mean, it's I agree.
But I understand why you're shaking your head, because you're looking at it from the concept. You're looking at it from the point of view of a life form. I'm looking at it from the point of view of a computer. You like literally, you can transfer data. You can transfer data to a computer and not corrupt the data. It can be uncorruptible. Like in the case of White Vision, he had a program. He had a directive. Once the directive was met, then you're open to receive new information. When he and Old Vision had that conversation, and he allowed, and I use the word allowed because Vision asked permission to give him this information. So he allowed him to give him the information. The download happened. Now, as a computer, you have to process the information. What happened, what we saw at that moment, was Vision fly away to process the information. That's what we haven't seen what happens after that, but we know that he now has the full onslaught of memories, of relationships,
experiences,
of emotions, of experiences that Vision, the program, has already had and incorporated into the system. That's all I'm saying.
But he's got a virus. He was made with a virus, though. You have to understand that, Ty. That's what Vince and I are getting at. I get what you're saying, and you can have a shell in a computer. But if we're talking computer-wise, his computer already had a virus inside of it. Then Vision downloaded.
There was no virus.
There was no virus.
It was
the virus. Hayward and Sword is the virus.
There's a virus.
No, that was just.
You literally hold on. You literally let me
listen to me, Tyrone.
Hold on. You literally
listen. Hold up.
You literally just said
to explain what I'm saying so y'all will understand it better.
We get what you're saying.
You literally just said, though, that Hayward and all them, that initially they blocked his mental capacity to know about his past and everything because they took his virginal body. You said that. Right. So if Hayward put a virus in his body or something like that, I'm just using it as an example because you're using a computer. That's so you understand what I'm talking about now? Hayward putting that into his head and all the things that he did in order to stop him from having those emotions and those thoughts and all that stuff. That's what I'm getting at. That's the virus. Then when he downloaded it, it's still inside of him. He still has that shit in him.
That wasn't a virus, though. That was a prime directive.
We're saying virus, but
it's a fucking analogy.
It's not an actual virus.
It's yeah.
Like you got like, okay, all right, listen.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is not T2, but they come from the same program. All right, in the Terminator, all of those folks sent back from the future came from the same John
same programming though. This is where y'all might
but Vision is a program. Vision is
listen again, and I will slow this down because I don't know where the disconnect is coming from. I really don't understand why you don't understand this. Listen, when Hayward, whatever y'all want to call it, when Hayward reconstructed the body of Vision, they did not use Vision's programming. They installed their own directives and programming into a shell of what Vision was. There was no programming of Vision. Vision as his core.
You just find my case even more right now.
His core processor was in the Vision that Wanda had. So they all they had was the husk of what Vision had, what the leftovers of what was left.
Yeah.
And Thanos ripped out the stone in his head. All that was left was a husk. It was just dead. It was the organic material that Tyrone referred to. That was all that was left. What they did was they put their own programming into the vibranium body parts that were left over that they expanded to make the body more indestructible. That's all it was. So when what they sent out there was not Vision. It was a program to destroy Vision. That was what it was. And that's why y'all are getting mixed up. There was no Vision in that husk. None. Absolutely none.
But that's the fucking program in him. That's what you're not getting. They made the program that he took over. That's still part of his body. It's still part of his body.
It didn't go away. That's what she said.
Like it's not like it disappeared. And
no, okay. I think I can help you out.
To be part of his body because listen again. You're talking about a life form. Hold on. You're talking about a life form like a human being. This is not a human being. Before Tony Stark added Ultron's AI and also Jarvis's AI to combine to make Vision. Before he did that, he put that in an inanimate object. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The program itself is Vision. So
I think I can help out.
That core process. Go ahead and help out.
Yeah, I think I can help out because I think what you're doing is missing a point. So like that directive that he had, that programming to destroy Vision was just a very simple idea for a machine, right? And then when Wanda's Vision had that conversation with him, all he did was throw a wrench in the logic, so he couldn't complete his directive without failing his at the same time. So that idea, that logic, that directive is now gone because they had that Ship of Theseus conversation. So it wasn't like something that's hardwired into him that can't be removed. It's just simple logic that the other Vision just beat with simple logic. And so there's no remaining programming that's like that's in there, or like a virus that's in there or anything else like that. That was just that was him using just command prompts essentially to stop this computer from doing what it was designed to do.
How can you say that though, Tyrone?
So Tyrone, are you talking to me about that missing it, or are you talking to them then?
I'm trying to explain to them
Thank you.
But Tyrone, look, we're gonna have to talk about this on IG because we gotta wrap this up.
Yo,
we gotta
I want to hear the point you're about to make real quick though, because
okay.
Yeah.
The problem with that theory and that thesis is that all right. I don't want to get too engineering technical, but y'all know the difference between ROM and RAM. Y'all know the difference between ROM and RAM.
Yeah.
Like random access and read-only memory.
Yeah.
Like with RAM, you can add to it. With ROM, you can't edit it. You can't do anything with it. So here is a guy who has all of his internal data is ROM, right? But then Vision comes and makes it random access memory and adds to it, but he still has his read-only memory that he started off with. So you're asking him, Oh my God!
You're talking.
Okay, hold on,
You're talking in hardware terms. You're talking in hardware terms. This is software. This is coding.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. I got a better analogy. Okay. So think of it like this. All right. You have a computer and you're trying to make it like a gaming computer. So you have to have updates and installs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? To make it better, to make it more efficient, stuff like that. That is basically what he did when he touched him. He still has his internal hard drive inside of him, but now he has all this extra stuff
Right.
that he can process and understand now, because Vision made him more aware and made him able to process and understand that.
Yes.
Wow, I just broke that shit down.
That's exactly what it is. It's like,
are y'all both listening to each other? Because that's
that's
the same damn shit I said.
How do you not see?
Because listen,
Yeah, nobody's disagreeing with that.
You both just started off with it was a virus, and I said it wasn't.
No, but oh my God,
We were using it as an analogy. We weren't actually like
figurative terms.
Thank you. But y'all like so literal with it. We literally said I'm
figurative term. Like y'all are tripping.
Oh my God!
I literally said that when I was describing it. I literally
I
said
said
that.
the same thing as far as this whole computer analogy that you guys are saying. I said it was a program. I said when the White Vision came out, he had a program. What I also said was that what Vision did was download the information that he was lacking.
But he still has this
Kojo. Oh man, in honor of Kojo.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what I realized today. This is what I realized. Vinny, I realized that you have a level of arrogance that doesn't allow No, I'm dead serious. Your level of arrogance it goes far beyond, because you get so caught up in a thought that you don't even listen. Bro, you stop listening.
You're not listening.
I've been listening.
You're not comprehending. You're not absorbing. You're defining being anti. That's a good another name. That's a segment for you. But here, all right. Call me arrogant. Call me whatever the fuck you want. All I'm saying is, I see your point, but you won't see mine. All right. Your point is that Vision is Vision, no matter what. You could take Vision out of this person right here. This guy that we see. Is that it? No, here he is. You can take this Vision, all right, and download him, right, and then put him into your droid, your Android phone, and it'll be the same Vision standing right here talking to himself on a phone. And I'm saying no. You take Vision, download him, add him to your Android phone. What you now have is Android Plus now installed with Vision. You know what I'm saying? Which makes them two different types. One of them has Vision, one of them is Vision. And the new White Vision is now newly adapting to the Vision that he doesn't even know what to do with himself. Because if he was actually Vision, he would have stayed and laid down with Wanda. He would have stayed and wished say, "What's up with my kids?" He would have been like, "Yo, what's up with us?" He would have been so in love with Wanda, but he doesn't even know who Wanda is. He's trying to fucking love Wanda. This is your wish. Vision has his bro.
Wanda. I already answered this, bro. You doing all this unnecessary shit. I said, as a computer, when you receive new information that contradicts your programming, you have to process it. What he did was he left to process the information.
Well, why does he have to process it if he's already Vision? If he's Vision, there's nothing to process.
What are you talking about?
If Vision is the same.
No, I never listen.
Again, right, hold on.
No, don't hold up. Yes, hold on a second. Let me finish my point. Like at the end of the day, what I'm saying to him is, if Vision, the program that Wanda created, if that program downloads into a new locale, and that locale already, as you said, has information, and the information that it has is conflicting with the information that's downloaded, a computer does a reboot sometimes because it needs to process the new information downloaded into it. And in this term, we're not talking about a computer anymore. We're talking about a artificial intelligent being that can now move around as a human being and has the ability to now process these new emotions or whatever you want to call it, information. So the download is taking place when we see him fly away. That doesn't mean the next time we see him, he's not in love with Wanda and acting like the old Vision. It just means it's taking his core processor time to download and process it. That's all I'm saying. So when you say, oh, if he's Vision, then how is he Vision? What I said was when he downloaded that information, he became Vision. That's what I'm saying. That AI, that artificial intelligence, which is Vision, was downloaded into his core processor, and now he is Vision. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is that so hard to understand?
I understand it, but all right, look. First of all, I need to download a blunt into my lungs because this.
All I wanted to say to interject was, I just can't believe that one question I had started all of it.
Oh, you can't believe that?
I'm so glad you did. I'm
just enthralled right now because my whole one little itty throw in their questions are like a 30-45 minute rant. So
look, I was on this good streak, man. You had to bring me back, man. I needed to be brought back to life. It's been too much good shit going on, and I needed to get red faced in this motherfucker and start talking shit like I know I do. So
yes, downloaded Bad Tie into this new version that was here, and just created this ultra bad tie. I love it.
That's it, man.
All right. Well, look, man. Let's go. Let's finish this on IG Live, man. Let's go over to Instagram and let's talk some more shit, man. Because I'm not done. I get what Ty's saying, but I just think that there's a midpoint here. I think that we agree this is Vision 2.0. I mean, it's not the same Vision that helps fight against.
I can agree that he probably
but
has.
That was what my question was, though. Is he still the same Vision? That was what my question was. And I think these questions. I just wanted that one point.
Yeah, and I think these questions will be explored in upcoming stuff when we see Vision, because he doesn't have the Mind Stone, so he doesn't have that life force in him, but he is a sentient AI that has the memories of a life form. So I think what I think is a lot of these arguments are good arguments that we don't know the answers to the questions yet, and we'll find out in the near future. And it's just super fun conversation until then.
Yeah, and we could talk about how they're actually discussing, at least from what I've read, not having a WandaVision 2 series, rather a Wanda movie. I
hope so.
Follow up.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
But bro,
let's go on IG Live.
You're gonna have a lot of that. It looks like because look, the Winter Soldier movie is Captain America 4.
Yeah,
and bro. Like I see that every time Marvel is like, yo, like hits bullseye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it's gonna literally be one of those shit. We might get a She-Hulk movie, a fucking a Moon Knight movie, a Hawkeye movie.
I have a question, guys.
It's all coming.
I can't believe we made it to 3 hours. Like that was not the way it was supposed to be today, but here we are at 3 hours.
Literally, thank you.
I literally texted, emailed everybody. Look, I ain't really got nothing to talk about today, but obviously we always do. What's up, Yaz, as we wrap up? What's up?
I forgot.
You're entitled.
Yaz got that virus in her programming and is all corrupt now.
Okay, if you can remember, let's chat. Let's move over to IG Live. Huh, Yaz? You want to spearhead that up real quick? Let's do a little bit of follow up on IG Live because I still got a few
everybody,
things.
thank you for following our crazy ass podcast. We're gonna do an after chat on IG Live, so by all means, fly over there. New Blerd Order will be live, and we're gonna be on and popping. So I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you so
Instagram
much, everybody.
Live, really easy. We're not even gonna fuck around with all of the pleasantries and the goodbyes, and I'm let that geek flag fly and all that, whatever. But really just meet us over here at the New Blerd Order on Instagram Live, where we will continue this. But just a quick preview for the Facebook and YouTubers that do watch live. We are now in your car in terms of you can look us up. We're on iHeartMedia. We're on Apple Podcasts. Thanks to our homeboy Phil Blerd, who's in the comment section. I call him Phil Blerd. Hey, yo, Phil Blerd. I think we just renamed you.
Yeah, you better add that L to that name.
Phil, we're gonna need you to go on your Facebook account and change your last name.
Change your last name. Yeah, I like that name, man. Phil Blerd, bro. You got it. That's what it is. You ever talk about shit.
Right?
Yeah, I told you we had our first real fight on live. That's so weird. Damn.
Yeah, so meet us on that, man. We're gonna go ahead and trot over there to the IG live page. Also, some announcements about upcoming shows as well. So check us out, man. And we didn't even get to talk about everything. Maybe we could talk about this stuff online or on the IG. I wanted to maybe bring up the concept of discussing the fact that they're really coming close to an actual on-screen live action version of Thundercats. Which I
Do
thought
you
was
see
kinda
how
weird.
it said fans aren't ready?
Yeah, well, I mean that's what the guy says.
That's a lie.
Thank you. Like this dude don't even know. We're about to fucking Rotten Tomatoes gonna destroy his ass.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous about any kind of Thundercats actual show because I think that it's going to look like Cats, that movie they tried to make, and I'm afraid of that.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's one thing that freaks me out. Like if they do this Thundercats movie and it's live action, and I see freaking Meryl Streep strolling through the streets, and Idris Elba with the freaking cat head and singing to the freaking lamps at night, I'm cool on that.
There's so you don't want James Corden to play Snarf? That's not what
Yo, I would see that. I would like that.
Hey, that would be funny as shit. I would tune in for that for sure. But we've been waiting for this movie for 20 years, man. Like the last time I heard they were gonna have Van Damme playing Lionel. So,
oh my God, nah, yeah.
This is how long we've been waiting for this shit, man. Van Damme was still relevant. So
wow,
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Keep that energy. Yo, let's move on over here, man. Let's get out of it. We're officially over 3 hours again, man. So come and check us out. I know I'm gonna be like, yo, we're gonna let that geek flag fly and be your authentic self, but we'll save all that for the IG. But do come check us out on Instagram Live in about 30 seconds. Yeah, Oh, we about to go ahead and do it right now. And share, like, all of that. Follow us on all of these sites. Keep in touch, and don't be fake. Be your authentic self. Let that geek flag fly. All that good stuff. All right. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to beat Blanca keep a weak.
No, that's the wrong one. My bad.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to beat Blanca keep a weak ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah, now look at what I wear.